What is up, everyone? Happy Sunday. How's everybody doing on all the words? Where all the platforms I'm streaming to right now? God, I need caffeine. I feel like I need caffeine. I just had an energy drink. What's up, YouTube? What's up, TikTok? What's up, Twitch? How's everybody doing? What's up, Bedrock? How you doing? Chris, man. So I just found out India landed on the moon. Wait, they did? Not surprising, but just kind of surprised that wasn't on the news. But then again, if you're in America, we seem to not care about what other countries do. And if you're in America right now, we're going to hell in a handbasket. What's up, weird video gamer? Okay, I don't see ads so far after using the DNS. What DNS? You using Pi-hole, or you injecting the block list into your PF Sense or something like that? Because I do the latter. Tomorrow, I'm fixing my Pixel display. Nice. What are you making, weird video gamer? And I've been playing with Mesh-tastic devices, trying to, now that I have the basic understanding of the devices and everything, figure out how to make a base station, that I can have solar powered and, have outside, so I can have an always-on relay to just relay back in. I tried starting out with this little ESP32 Heltec V3 little guy over here, a 3D printed the case, but it's being problematic. Because I was hoping that this would work out the box, and it seems to like just randomly like restart or something like that. So I'm gonna see about picking up another one. And then there was a rack box that I saw thanks to my little Discord server. Someone shared in there that actually fit the needs of what I was looking at. So yeah, if just a little shameless plug, if you weren't aware already, I do have a Discord server and I do have a Matrix server, and you're more than welcome to join those. On my you can find it in the links in bio and everything. Oh yeah, hold on, I gotta set up the why the hell is my dentist asking for? Okay, whatever. It's after hours, don't matter about that. Put on the do not disturb. Hey, Chief. Oh, hey, Prisms, how's it going? How should I start to de-Google a desktop and phone? Well, de-Googling is more about minimizing how much Google has with your stuff and everything. The reality is, like, if you're, still using YouTube and everything like that, you're never going to be able to fully de-Google, but you can at least significantly reduce the amount of things connected to it. So, of course, if you have a Gmail or anything like that, you're going to want to get off of that. You can, basically what you can do in the meantime, instead of killing off your Google account, because of course you still have emails and things, tied into that, you can set yourself up like a Proton Mail account, and then what you do is go to Google and auto forward your emails in. I still have this from some of my old emails when I started doing that way back when. Originally, I built my own private email server, and when that became too cumbersome to maintain, moved it to Proton. Well, because I had my own custom domain from then and just transferred that over, those forwards still are in place today. But, yeah, so what you can do is do that, and then you can move your actual YouTube stuff to another Google account. You can make a Google account without a Gmail, just so you know. I've done that for my own YouTube stuff and everything like that. Then as far as de-Googling, like if you're an Android user, the main thing you want to do is get yourself a Pixel phone and install Graphene OS, like I've done with this Pixel 7a here. You can do that. Like the question is what things you just want to minimize how much you give Google. Now you also want to go in and make sure it pauses all of your data collection for your search history and all that, but obviously you want to avoid using Google when possible and everything. How is Graphene on the Fold? It should work just fine. I've heard good things. I don't have a Fold phone, so it should be fine. As long as it's an official Pixel phone that is currently supported. And if you are not aware of this site, I'm going to share you a little tip. This is great to know professionally. There's a website, if you ever need to check the end of life dates for a lot of different softwares, called endoflife.date. So you can go in here and you can actually find all different kinds of hardwares and softwares. So let's just search in here for Pixel. So we can see Google Pixels right here. And as long as any of these say right here, this line right here, Android updates and Android security, as long as it's still getting support, you can install Graphene. That's how they do it. So in the case of like my Pixel 7a, I can still use Graphene and stuff on it for another 3 years. So this is good to know. Found an app called DNSNet on F-Droid and put the TXT list that it's in your Discord general. Huh. Let me see what you got there. I haven't seen that one. So it's an Android specific thing. Wait, where'd you put it? Did you drop a link there or is it way up? I wasn't on there too much. I was tinkering with my LoRa and other devices, and then I also got my eyebrows and nose and ears waxed. So guys, how long would it take for Trump to get whacked? If shit gets more expensive and it keeps crushing down the average person, yeah, it's gonna happen again. It's already been 2 attempts. I'm not condoning that by any means. I'm just looking at history. I forgot which state you're in. I'm in a state of denial. Are you a liberal? What kind of question is that? I've literally had posts on TikTok showing I voted for Ron Paul and I voted for Gary Johnson twice. Yes, I voted Kamala this time, but that's because Chase Oliver and the Libertarian Party was really meh this time. And I didn't really like the things going on in the Libertarian Party this time. Gary Johnson was actually pretty solid as a person. But in terms of am I a liberal? At most, I can be considered a classical liberal. But no, I'm probably more on the pragmatic libertarian type. I do agree with certain things on the liberal side of things. But that's because I just have a brain and I think about things and I don't toe a hardy line. Hope you're doing great. Haven't seen you since TikTok. TikTok's kind of weird. Like, a lot of people aren't seeing my videos, so it's kind of weird. Like, I am hitting 372,000 people on there, but my videos barely get, like, a few thousand views. Now, lately, it's been a little bit better. I had a couple that did pretty well, like, when I was showing off the Tangara, which I will be talking about on YouTube soon. I just got to do some more tinkering with it. I like to, have a few more days using this before I do that. Same thing with Meshtastic. I'll have some YouTube content on that. TikTok is where I go like, hey, we're quickly going to talk about a thing. We're not going to get too in-depth. This is what I'm doing. YouTube is where I like to put all the, information I've collected and put it down into a video for everyone to use as a proper resource. I don't agree with shit anymore, bro. All this government is too much for me. I'll live in ignorance forever. Yeah, this government is kind of a bit much. But they're also trying to prey on the fact that they're trying to have so many different things go on that you have whiplash and you can't pay attention. And I'm like, motherfucker, you don't know ADHD people and how TikTok has trained our attention spans. Any secure open source alternatives to Slack or Zoom? Yeah, Matrix Protocol. I have my own Matrix server, by the way, if you're interested in checking it out. But yeah, the Matrix Protocol. Do not get confused with the other bullshit centralized messenger app that was called Matrix that was apparently used by criminals. Not the same thing as the Matrix Protocol. Matrix Protocol is a decentralized protocol that even some military organizations are using to secure their communications. It's a decentralized and federated approach to communications. Um, there's protests, anti-ace ones. Yeah, I know there's protests going on. There's supposed to be some major protests going on around the entire country. 50 different ones in the middle of Wednesday at noon. And I am sitting here like, do y'all just, like, cater protests to the people that, don't work? Because, let me, put this into perspective. You want protests to be effective? Have people actually show up. And it's like, well, we're going to do it on Wednesday in a few days from now. I'm like, motherfucker, I can't even request PTO off that soon. I can't exactly just say, I'm sick, because guess what? Somebody's going to recognize me. And just to be clear, I wouldn't be the guy actively protesting. I would be the guy just providing nodes. Let me see. Where are we with the chat? Sorry, my bot got in. Don't agree with. Yeah. My brain only sees half my keyboard. Yeah, my brain goes derp sometimes too. Is there an alternative for DSD Plus for the RTSDR on Ubuntu Linux as on Windows? Let me look at that. What is? Hold on. The hell's my brain is a little fried, so I just gotta remember what the hell. DSD Plus. I haven't dealt with DSD Plus too much. What is DSD Plus exactly doing? I'll have to look into that. I haven't really dealt with that too much. Oh, decoding audio formats and everything. Yeah, I haven't really dealt too much with that. That's something I might have to put in my list to tinker with. I'm sort of right now in the whole, like, boat for LoRa and trying to get that going with my nodes and everything. Basically, what I'm trying to do right now is, I'm planning to go hiking with my dogs, and I had the thought, because my dog got off the lead one time, what happens if he gets further away and I have to track him down? So I was looking into these. These guys are great. They're IP65 rated, little sense caps. They have GPS and stuff. I was gonna like fit them in their vests because they have a little sleeve or something. Then I was gonna tie it into using my own other LoRa and then track them, as well as get an outdoor node and explain to. I'm also working with my family because one of my relatives is disabled and they live within a few miles of me, to just have a backup in case of power going out or an emergency is needed, the telecommunication systems down, because I know it's like seeming like an extreme situation, but the California fires got me thinking about what happens if infrastructure is bad, or we need stuff that's a little bit situation for that, and can I transmit different data, all that. So I'm looking into LoRa for a lot of different things, primarily with Meshtastic, and leaning more into my open sourcey things. I'm sorry, I'm going to be that guy. I've been waiting for this. Waiting for what? Right now, Trump just insulted Wall Street journalist, Journal and Wall Street. Yeah, I heard that they were already pulling futures. Let me see. Hold on. Dow Jones. Aftermarket trading. Yeah, aftermarket trading is not looking good. So for those of you not aware, when the markets close, there's still trading going on. And this is usually a precursor to how the week is going to go. So the market's down 0.75%, and it's only Sunday. Okay? So, yeah. Wait, no, that's January 31st. Wait, hold on. Let me get the pre-market. Or do I usually can pull that up on Signal. I mean, not Signal, Public. God damn it. I dropped my LoRa. Yeah, I gotta make a better case for this. I tinkered, I tried. Damn, I guess it's not a good idea to quit my job and live off of my retirement savings for a year or so. I wouldn't say so. Is Mattermost safe? I mean, it's okay, but with that, it really depends on how you configure things. Let's go to public. Do they show me the aftermarket trades? Ugh. Aftermarket, my portfolio is down 0.26%. Okay. Let's look at Dow. Hold on. Dow Jones. There we go. Nope. What's the index number they have? What is it they use? SPY. There we go. Yep. We are 0.5% down at close to, 0.43% down in aftermarkets trading. Actually, no, it's getting close to 1%. Oof. Yeah, that's not going to be a good week next week. Especially if your retirement's mostly in stocks or everything. You boned. It's a good thing that I told a few people to get into metals early on. And even quite a bit of my cryptos and stable coins, at least. ES is the future stock futures. Okay. Let me check that. ES stock ticker. So it looks like they're going up a little bit. No, it's Eversource. Okay. We'll know more tomorrow what goes on once the markets probably hit, and we'll probably see a week or two lag. The other issue is that Canada, I don't know if y'all saw, but Canada is already pulling liquor off the shelves that is from America. And for those of you that are like, well, what's the big deal about that? The LCBO is apparently the largest alcohol purchaser in the entire world. That's a big hit to Kentucky and a few other states. Chief, where'd you get that shirt? I got this at DEF CON. This was, I want to say 2 DEF CONs ago. This was the first DEF CON I went to. You put the app in Discord? Alright, let's see. What is this? DNSNet. Oh, so it's an Android app that just lets you put in... It works by creating a lightweight VPN service that filters your traffic as you use your device. So what is it doing? An internal forwarder? Is that what I'm understanding correct? No, it's, Wait, no, it's using DNS. I'm a little confused by how this works. So what is it? It's a lightweight DNS, so is it using someone else's DNS servers? I doubt that. It's probably, what, doing, a reroute internally. I have to tinker with it. So what's this LoRa server? LoRa server isn't really a server per se. It's a decentralized mesh network. So like I have this LilyGo T Echo over here. I have this SenseCap, what is it, T1000. And then I have my own DIY version that I've been trying to get working, but it's being a little bitch. A Heltec V3. I 3D printed my own case and attached an antenna, and it just keeps wanting to reboot and shit, and yeah, so I'm playing with that. Someone else mentioned another LoRa device, so I was looking at the rack boxes, RAK. So I'm gonna get an outdoor external node, probably, and then what I will be doing is, I'm hoping to make it to DEF CON this year. And then I'll know more in a month or so. Waiting for the bonus from work and everything. Let's see. Let me see. People forget they voted happily for all he does. No the fuck we did not. Let's do some math here. What is it? You had 75 million, if I recall, going for Kamala. 77 million went for Donald Trump. But there's 340 million Americans. What's 75 plus 77? That's what? 172? 152? Math. Where the hell did I get the extra 20? 152 million out of 340. Now, let's presume what? A third to a quarter of all Americans aren't even of age to vote. That still leaves a good chunk of Americans that didn't vote. So no, people didn't happily vote for that. I want to be able to speak to it like Alexa. Wait, what? Have you got any technology advice for creating like a decentralized voice assistant for Home Assistant? There is some people I've talked to that have been looking at using AI in LLMs to be able to do the local processing. Granted, you will need some additional processing power to do these kind of things. So there are options out there. People forgot to stop selling maple syrup. I like my maple syrup. Why do I gotta suffer? Well, then again, I haven't bought maple syrup in so long because, you know. I heard Canada's cutting power to USA. I don't know if it's power per se. I'm not too on the up and up of the connections of our power grid and all there, but I do know that there's some talks about gas and everything because some states actually do pull gas from Canada. So that could bone things. I think there were some pipelines that were actually delivering gas and stuff down to the states that way. It's good. Chief, thoughts on Elon? He's a fucking putz! Here's the reality. I've always seen Elon Musk as overhyped for many years, long before this shit. I remember when he came out with the Tesla cars and everything, I was like, he was making these huge arguments about having sensors in his car, and I'm like, he's bullshitting people with this whole autopilot system and everything that isn't even in function. How many years has he been talking about the whole autopilot system that he sold for $15,000 that still hasn't been delivered on? And we've gone from what, hardware 2 to hardware 3, and hardware 3 was promised to have all the capabilities so they could do the autopilot systems, and now they're saying they have to do hardware 4. The reality is you can't really run a smart, an automated car just off of cameras, just like a human. A human depending only on its eyesight is very inefficient. We use all of our senses to operate every single day. In the same way, it needs additional sensors to be able to function. I mean, as we've seen, the cameras have messed up so much with different things, and you're able to fool them pretty easily. We've done things like put cones down and all of that, and, you know, hell, one friend actually managed to play a prank and paint some of the parking lot to mess with the Teslas. Not where I work. It was somewhere where he worked. Is Proton Mail VPN good? It's good. It's alright. All email sucks. But like I say with all VPNs, and I have a whole YouTube video about this, don't treat VPN like a magic silver bullet. Do not do that. Understand what the strengths and limitations are, and understand it's not going to make you any more private than you can do with your own behaviors. The reality is you're going to get more out of a VPN. I mean, more out of changing your behaviors using the internet than how you access the internet by using a VPN. Now, if you're using a VPN to get around geo-blocks and stuff like that, it's fine. I use a VPN when I travel. I use a VPN when I'm in public spaces for networks I don't necessarily trust. But it's also one of those, like, yeah, but Proton's fine. And I am affiliated with them if you want to check them out with the link in bio. I've been using them for years. I know a bunch of people are freaking out about the CEO made some comments or something like that were, like saying like, well, they're supporting the Republicans. And I'm sitting here like, a few years ago, people were hating on Proton because there were people that were MAGA that were getting doxxed because they happened to use Proton and didn't understand the recovery information is publicly accessible because Proton has to use that to do that. And then they use that recovery information to be able to further de-anonymize those people to then serve them with warrants for threatening public officials. So Proton's one of those companies that actually at least walks the walk and has history showing that they actually do say what they're going to do and stay in the middle of the road as a Swiss company. In cybersecurity, have you ever used assembly or C programs? No. We don't really do all that much in cybersecurity unless you're actually in application security and you're developing an application using those things and need to make sure they're secured. But in my job, most of what I've done is Bash and Python. What's up, Nice Demon? Just bought a Bamboo Labs A1. I mean, they're nice basic computers, but my advice, don't get too hooked on the Bamboo Labs ecosystem. Look up the recent firmware update and how so many people got pissed off because it broke third-party plugins and it just is doing something. I'm not a fan of proprietary 3D printers. Proprietary 3D printers are the exact reason why consumers didn't have 3D printers 20 years before, because 3D printers have been around since the 1980s, and we had to wait until Stratasys patents expired. We're still waiting for more patents to expire to be able to introduce those into consumer 3D printing spaces. So keep that in mind. Cut the power during the Super Bowl. Boy, that'd be something. Like you're using DNS on router, but I have it set up to block websites through GitHub text list of ad websites. Interesting. They have Quad 9 DNS set up by default. Oh, that's nice. I like Quad 9. What's your title for work these days? Love the content. I am a cybersecurity engineer these days. That's my official title. Why does Elon have control of Social Security? I have no clue why he's doing it, other than I think that they're doing some stuff to try to retaliate against different people. He's doing it under the guise of trying to, rein in government spending and everything, but here's the reality. That money that is going to these different agencies is already approved by Congress, who legally holds the purse. There's not anything Elon can do legally. In fact, I think, what was it? He might already be running afoul of a few laws. I think, what was it? One of my friends and I were talking about it. I think he also might be in violation of the Logan Act, which is that criminalizes the negotiation of a dispute between the United States and a foreign government by an unauthorized American citizen. That's potential. See you later, Prisms. Have a good night. Software patents are kind of dumb. Yeah, software patents in general are pretty dumb. A lot of the intellectual property systems we have need to be completely reformed. The Electronic Frontier Foundation has been a big proponent of wanting to change all those things. Copyright is absolutely horrible, as well as patents. I mean, you're talking about copyright. You can have a trademark or something like that on, I think Mickey Mouse was trademarked for about 116 years. We finally just got Steamboat Willie. Originally, it used to be 57 years, and Disney kept lobbying to extend the amount of time. There's no reason why IP should take that long to go into public domain. I think it should be 57 years. Go back to the original. The lifetime of the average person. It's my first 3D printer. Oh yeah, so the Bamboo A1 is a good one to start with. I mean, it's pretty plug and play. I'm not faulting you for getting it to start with. I'm just saying, don't get too cozy with the Bamboo Labs ecosystem. Once you get your bearings and understanding of, you know, the basics things you got to do and all that, feel comfortable to go on to different brands. I like Prusa myself, but there's other brands out there that work pretty well too. Any thoughts with Mulvad adding data? You said Mulvad did. Is that how you spelled it? Defense against AI traffic analysis, guided traffic analysis. Advanced traffic analysis is a growing threat against your privacy. Therefore, we developed data, a feature available in our VPN app, through constant packet sizes, random background traffic, and data pattern distortion. We are taking the battle against AI-guided traffic analysis. When you connect through internet through a VPN or other encrypted services like the Tor network, for instance, your IP address is masked and your traffic is encrypted and hidden from your internet service provider. If you also use a privacy-focused browser, you make it harder for adversaries to monitor your... okay. I think it's interesting, but I would be more interested to see the effectiveness on this. This looks promising. I would just like to see some audits on it. Though they do have a lot of this open sourced. Excuse me. But yeah. That'll be interesting to see. Elon is taking over the Congress. No, he's not taking over the Congress. He's taken over the executive branch. Here's the thing. Trump doesn't like to be outshined, and if we keep referring to him as President Musk and everything like that, Trump's going to get extremely upset. From what you have to understand is that he's already been pushed out of the White House. He was originally going to get like a house in the, not a house, a office in the West Wing. They pushed him across to the Federal Roosevelt building. He's already starting to be on the outside of Trump's circle. Give it time. He's going to wear out his welcome. What'll be interesting, though, is we have the German elections in, what, 2 weeks? I heard they were trying to buy up takeover strategy, but failed. Yeah, absolutely, because here's the problem. The government is only funded until March. There's a looming crisis for funding in March. They can't guarantee pay. What was it? They were offering like 7 months? How does one guarantee pay until September if the government isn't funded till March? I mean, is not funded beyond March. Sorry. Words. The problem with Elon Musk and Donald Trump is they're coming into government treating it like business. Now, while, yes, government is just another monopolized corporation, it's not government in the typical, it's not business in the typical sense. You can't treat it like that. And the problem is, you got no balls in Congress to actually hold anyone accountable. Because, you know, we're just waiting until the slaughter comes about when people start realizing their groceries and everything are going to get more expensive. And Republicans are going to have to answer for that. And I'm saying that as someone that's neither a Democrat nor a Republican. It's effed up all over. We have the Pac-Man eye Mickey. Wait, what? Yeah, and Let me see. Hold on one second. Trying to find this. Where's my chat? Over here. Okay, there we go. Hold on. My chat just glitched out over here. And... Just joined. What do you think about DeepSeek? Okay, so, yep, there we go. Chat's pulling in. Sorry. Here we are. We're back. Wait. It's in public domain. What's in public domain? Sorry. You talking about the, data thing? What's up, Just Nickel? We even have the skeleton dance. Just join. What do you think about DeepSeek? So DeepSeek, I really think DeepSeek, the thing that was magical about DeepSeek, and I've talked about this in a couple of their streams and TikToks, and I'll eventually have a YouTube video talking about this where I actually talk about how to run this stuff locally. Because my TikToks always get drowned out when I show this useful information. The power behind it was that it finally popped the bubble, or at least began the deflation of the balloon around the AI industry. Because here's the problem, and I saw this firsthand when I was at Web Summit. I talked about this, and if you want to see my opinion and see what I was talking about with Web Summit, I have a YouTube video talking about it. The problem is investors are way too focused on having AI or blockchain still, believe it or not, in your project. They don't understand that AI doesn't make sense in most cases. It's a buzzword. And not only that, a lot of investors were given the impression you need lots of money to do anything with AI. Like, you know, the Stargate program was, looking at $500 billion. OpenAI spent billions of dollars to do what they need. Then DeepSeek came around and said that they did everything with $6 million. And I know some people are, Riesling, Chardonnay, Vinho Verde. I like Portuguese wines. The reality is that, and I know some people are going to make the argument of, well, you know, they used OpenAI to help train the model. Yeah, like OpenAI used a lot of artists and other works on the internet freely without permission. Sorry, that's the way it goes. Technology will just iterate over itself. But I think DeepSeek's more powerful thing is that it's also democratized AI a little bit better. Because there were open source models. Like, I could play with Llama, I could play with Mistral, and a few other things. But the reality is, they weren't that great compared to what DeepSeek could do locally. And now it's kind of like starting the race for doing things locally. And DeepSeek also made the statement that they open sourced it because they don't believe the value is in their product. They believe the value is in the culture of the company that they have created. What about Quen? Yeah, you can use Quen. There's a few others out there. But ultimately, you can run DeepSeek locally. Pull it up so you can see. I've talked about this on TikTok. I'll have a YouTube video about it eventually. If I have some time tomorrow, I'll start recording the AI and LLM video, but there's like so many things that have been going on. But this is how I do a lot of things locally. And just so you know, my specs, if you're not over on Twitch where you can see the specs of the system, I'm using a Ryzen 9 5950X, 64 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA 3070. So it's a decent workstation, but it's not out of reach for the average person to use. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. So we can pull up, what is this, DeepSeek R1 distill Quen. And we can load that model up. And, tell me about Fortran. There you go. You see, you can run it locally. Now, granted, this is only with 7 billion parameters. You can use heavier ones, but they get a little bit slower. So, for example, if I switch over to 32B, give it a sec to load, if it will load. I do want to get a better GPU just for more VRAM eventually. I'd like to get a 5090, but it's so hard to justify the cost of that. NVIDIA needs to get off their fucking horse and just understand that's not consumer pricing. A GPU should not be $2,000 in the consumer market. It shouldn't even be $1,000 in my opinion. What you should be doing is once it gets past the $1,000 mark, that's your NVIDIA Quadro series and all that. It makes no sense. So, let's do another one over here. Tell me about Unix. So you can see, it'll work, but it's a little bit slower. This is DeepSeek R1 distilled Quen 32 billion parameters. Oh, yeah, Popeye the Sailor Man in public domain too. Oh, yeah. That's nice. I can make memes with Popeye. I can make merch with Popeye. Didn't OpenAI also completely disregard robots.txt? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And that's always been a critique of robots.txt, is it's always been a formality to accept it. It's never been a hard thing. Any good cybersecurity projects from home? As always, I recommend firewalls. pfSense is a good open source project. You can also play with encrypted communications with LoRa. Those are fun. You'll probably not end up using that in your career too much, but it's at least fun to know. Of course, CubesOS is a great operating system to learn for security and just, fun tinkering and everything like that. If you don't have a pfSense firewall, you can get a Raspberry Pi and do a Pi-hole for DNS server blocking. Even though I don't recommend it being too much in production, you can run your own email server with things like a mail-in-a-box, Modoba, iRedMail, things like that to at least learn the concepts of how email works, because understanding how email infrastructure works and understanding SPF, DKIM, and DMARC records, as well as, just so you know, there's even a new standard for emails that came out a couple years ago called BIMI. Brand Identification... fuck it, we'll ask it. But yeah, you can see 32B is kind of slow. So, let's do this. Let's see if it can actually tell me about BIMI. I'm just curious. There we go. Brand identity in mail. Now that don't sound right. Hold on. BIMI. Brand indicators for message identification. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, that don't sound right. So, just take this as a lesson that AI isn't always going to be right. Do you have the 671B model? No. That takes like a terabyte or so. And even then, I can't run it on my system because that's going to need a lot more resources. I can barely run the 32B model as it is. So use an email server to receive and just Proton to send it. Got. I mean, sure, if you want to be that complicated. How many tokens a sec is that? Question. It was doing 116.5 tokens a second when it was running that 32B model. Do you like pfSense or OpenSense better? I like pfSense better because you actually, it has a little bit more of a learning curve. I started learning on it, and you can do a lot more with pfSense than you can OpenSense. OpenSense is designed basically to more or less be turnkey compared to pfSense. But pfSense is more capable, if that makes sense. If that helps you make sense of that. 14B runs kind of janky with my 3070 Ti. I don't even have a Ti. I just have 3070, and it seems to work fine with 32B. But DeepSeek seems to be more dependent upon CPU, from what I've seen. But that's just my perspective on what I've seen so far. I was playing around with them. I don't know what complete ish run. Okay. Mail Cow is a good project. I always forgot about Mail Cow. Mail Cow is always a solid one too. For me, DeepSeek run very slow because I run it in a CPU variant. Well, yeah, you need to have some GPU, but the DeepSeek seems to be okay with the CPU compared to the other versions. But I have AMD. I think you can run AMD. I haven't tested this, but I think OpenCL helps with some of the AI computations and everything. I could be wrong there, because I don't have an AMD to test. So, I would really appreciate feedback from anyone who wants to test that and drop it in the Discord. The 4080 probably handle the 14B snappily, 32B well. I would just say play around with it and see what works with you. Yeah. I need to get a new laptop first for mobile editing before I upgrade my desktops. They work fine for what I need, but the stream box over here that runs the streams, because I have a 2 PC stream setup, I want to upgrade the Streambox GPU first so I can get AV1 encoding and make the video quality a lot better. I would just need the lowest end NVIDIA GPU that has AV1. The problem is there's no desktop 3050s. They haven't brought back the low end GPUs. It's like the lowest I think I saw was like, correct me if I'm wrong, 3070 for a desktop. I haven't looked too hard, but I've also not been too pressed to do it. Yeah. And then for this boy over here, I would just like to get a more powerful GPU in general to do my computations much faster. For gaming, it's perfectly fine a 3070, because I only do 1080p, so like every game I do works perfectly fine for what I need. There's a 3060. That's good to know. But then I also have to upgrade the power supply too, so it's a bit of a work. Do you know the Popeye song, Popeye the Sailor Man turned on the heater? I don't know that one. I just know I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. That one. Yeah. Works on AMD as far as I know, just that CUDA on NVIDIA helps. Yeah, CUDA definitely helps stream things along a little bit faster. Running a 12th gen i9 40GB DDR4 to 3070 Ti mobile. 14B isn't horrible, but it ain't that great either. Yeah. That's the problem with a lot of these LLMs, is they need a little bit of processing to do things. But the fact that we're even here and we can run these things locally is a godsend. Because the problem is, OpenAI was banking, just like a lot of these other AI companies, that it was going to be a service they could continually sell, upcharge, and gouge us on the price for, and we would just be beholden to these tech companies to render the service. DeepSeek has allowed us to have a decent open source model to do quite a few things. But the interesting thing is, have you ever tried asking OpenAI or DeepSeek which is larger? Here, let's test it ourselves. 1 second. Let's load up. Which is bigger? 9.9 or 9.11? And then let's open up OpenAI. Funny. Phrasing. So we're gonna open this up. All right, so which is bigger? 9.9 or 9.11? So DeepSeek is obviously still thinking. So mathematically, the ChatGPT got it right with the 4.0 model. 9.9 is bigger than 9.11. Give it a second. Again, we're running locally on a 32 billion parameter model. It's giving a lot more information. So I'm trying to prove if we can replicate the situation where somebody said that ChatGPT would say what it did, and then DeepSeek would say 9.11 is larger because in terms of versioning. Okay, we got conclusion. We can do the strawberry test next. Okay. So they both got the same answer. Okay. Let's run both. Okay, so there's three R's and strawberries, right? I don't know if there's a way to turn off the verbose response in DeepSeek. Okay, ChatGPT gave us the correct answer, 3. DeepSeek, 32 billion parameters. Now, mind you, I haven't updated these LLMs since I showed y'all about LM Studio, and I grabbed them again because I realized I forgot to reinstall it after I reinstalled my machine. Okay? I like how it says, first little, S, not an R. T, not an R. That's one R. Nope, nope. Still no R. Nothing here. I used Open Web UI. Well, it's the same thing, just a wrapper, basically, to make it run with the web and stuff. Excuse me. When they do a tokenization, I'm interested to see if with advanced reasoning fixes that. Okay, so it's doing a recount. So it's double checking its work. But first pass with the thinking over here. There are 2 R's in a row here, so that's 3 R's. Wait, did I count that correctly? Yep. So it's getting 3 R's on both. I haven't been able to replicate their situation. Do you think the knowledge is still necessary to learn how to use AI to build safe, secure, robust? Yes. I think it's still necessary because it's still going to be a tool that will be used in our industry, whether we like it or not. The question is at what level we will be using AI. For the most part, I use AI at work to clean up my emails from all the insults and curses I have when dealing with vendors. It's not even a joke. I had an email the other day I had to send to Zscaler. I basically, I remember writing it out. Hey, ChatGPT, how can I tell? Because at work I'm using ChatGPT. Because I'm on my work computer. Anyway, and I basically just said, hey, ChatGPT, how can I tell Zscaler that they're dumb fucks that don't seem to check their own AMIs before deployment to see if this actual way is going to be applicable and why it can't be terraformed? And it spat out a nice, proper email. And you ever want fun? You ever want some fun? Y'all have heard of ExecuSpeak, right? ExecuSpeak. Give me something that I should do. You want for funny. Let's see. ExecuSpeak. Trying to think of something to do. The need for more cybersecurity. You can actually ask it. That's not what I wanted. Hold up. Because this is good for sending for comms. Make it ExecuSpeak. Oh yeah, this is ExecuSpeak. Now, we're gonna take it another step, okay? Wait till this finishes. This is what I do when I'm bored, and I turn my coworkers onto this. Now, Pirate speak it. Batten down the hatches. Cybersecurity be the compass to safe waters. Ahoy, esteemed captains of this enterprise. The seas be rough and the cyber krakens be circling. Our treasure, data, operations, and reputation be too precious to leave unguarded. If we don't shore up the defenses, we risk being boarded by scallywags who seek to plunder what we hold dear. To keep our ship steady and our coffers full, we must lock the hatchways. This is the kind of stupid shit I do at work. And by the way, I have sent Pirate speak messages to my manager. It's pretty funny. Uh, let me see. I grow up on the song people's Popeye living in a trash can. Okay. Now, strawberry test was something to do with tokenization, so I'm interested to see what the advanced reasoning fixes that. So it does look like it did get 3 R's. So that's interesting that this managed to do it, and I couldn't get that going. I mean, I couldn't repeat the issues people were saying. Okay. Do you think coding knowledge is still necessary to learn? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're still... Oh, yeah, I misread that. Yeah, you're still going to need coding knowledge because here's the reality. You can use AI for snippets and to learn base function and everything, but it's not always going to do things in the right way. That's just how it is. People trust AI too much to be like, oh, this is truth. No, you have to know the function. So, like, if you have it work with code, it will spit it out in the most convoluted way. But you have to know the basic functions to be like, I need this code modular. I need it to work this way if I'm going to Dockerize it, and then if I'm going to Terraform it, and all these other things. ChatGPT, AI, and all that isn't going to know that out the box. Do you think functional programming is superior? It depends on what you're trying to do. But API are locally hosted through using it at work. So work is not against us using LLMs. We just need to make sure that we're not putting any sensitive data in there. So what I often do is, like, if I'm putting snippets or something like that that I need for the company, I will literally take the sensitive part, like an API key or something like that, and I will just put in all caps, sanitized. ChatGPT seems to figure out from the context of, it's there, it's just sanitized as an input. Who do you work for? Mike Jones. Sorry. What do you think about Michael Dell? He's a schmuck that needs to retire. He just called everyone back in to do return to office. Here's the thing that pisses me off about Dell doing that. Sorry. Here's the problem with Michael Dell doing that. You realize Dell sells a bunch of products geared towards work from home. So let me show you this. This is the bullshit. I want you to read in their own language products. Remote workforce. Drive remote workforce productivity with a trusted IT and security partner. They literally have entire lines of products that they are pitching to companies to make work from home a lot more convenient and efficient. So you know what this tells me? If Dell is telling all their office workers to return to office because it's not efficient enough, then what good are your fucking products to support remote companies and remote workers? I want you to think about that. So you're telling me you as a tech company don't have faith in your own capability to support people remotely. Therefore, you want your own team to work in the office to, ironically, in part, support your products to benefit companies that are doing remote work, while at the same time Talking about how working from home can be more productive. You have to have Blue Sky support the bot. Oh yeah, I gotta check the Someone contributed code to my Twitch bot. I just haven't been able to check the code because I've been so busy and I forgot about it. I'm working on it here. Post that on Blue Sky. Hashtag InfoSec. Hashtag Cybersecurity. There we go. All right. White wine. Very demure. It's not white wine. It's actually green wine. It's Vinho Verde. It's Portuguese wine. Currently watching on a Dell PC. All the government Anguilla's PCs are all Dells. Yeah, most governments are either running Dell, HP. HP is like starting to come back. I've seen a little bit. But Dell is the number one. Lenovo isn't really used inside the government. There's a whole mandated government needing U.S. suppliers and everything. But yeah. What's up, Kira? How's it going? Hilarious and contradictory. Currently downloading the CDC's deleted pages. Oh yeah, they've been pulling a lot of stuff, so it's great that you're doing that. So when you're pulling them, are you pulling them locally or are you just doing archive.org? Because if you are doing archive.org, make sure to have a local copy as well, because archive.org has been running into some issues legally. I fully support them. Let me make that out of the way. It's bullshit that they're going through this. But the issue that I have with depending on any particular service is the same reason I try to own my own media and run my own music and stuff locally. What's on a server today is gone tomorrow. And we're seeing that happen right now with the CDC. And what upsets me the most about this is that the CDC, historically, doesn't give a fuck about politics. They care about results. Like, the CDC, historically, was one of the least politicized organizations. And Donald Trump came in and politicized it and said, we're not going to use any unapproved terms and everything. That's feeling very Goebbels of you. Yeah, I use Dell at work, and I'm switching to an HP laptop. The HP laptop's interesting. So apparently I found out talking to the IT team, the HP corporate laptops not only have the NVMe SSD, but they have like 32 gigabytes of eMMC, so you can load your own custom image of Windows, and the idea being, if there's ever a catastrophic issue, potentially they don't have to send their laptop back in. They can remotely issue a restore, and it will restore it from the company image from that eMMC. It's very neat. You can do a lot with Microsoft Intune and stuff like that from what I've learned. Interesting. But, yeah. Pink or yellow wine. It's Vinho Verde. It's green wine. It's Portuguese. Ouchie. You know, I've never really understood alcoholism until we've been 1 month into this second term of the presidency. Now, I understand it. Looks yellow from here. You like your NAS? Oh yeah, didn't you have to like wait several weeks for your NAS to be shipped in? Glad you're enjoying it. Which one did you get? Gulf Air is the flag carrier boat. Oh, that's the bot that's going off. Okay. 2 weeks into Trump's presidency, not even a month. Oh, well, with that knowledge, everybody drink! Okay. We're gonna add some water. Is that the rate I'm going? Probably gonna finish the bottle by the end of the stream. What do you do in your job? Bitch about end users? No, I'm kidding. That is just part of the job. I'm a cybersecurity engineer. I deal mostly in vulnerability management and securing and enhancing a lot of the platforms. So deal with the endpoint detection and response, deal with the zero trust network access, deal with the DLP, data leak prevention, data loss prevention. Although in that case it's data leak. Different things like that. So vuln management and stuff. I'm not even American, and this has felt like a long 2 weeks. Definitely. Wall Street is going to regret Trump. I believe so. So, what is it? Futures have been sold off. Canada is enacting tariffs on the U.S., so is Mexico, apparently. Denmark is looking at... So, here's the thing. If we go after Denmark for Greenland, do you know apparently that means we lose Legos, but also Ozempic, but more importantly, we fucking lose Legos because of this orange man! Do you know how many autistic people will have an absolute rage when you can't let them have their Legos anymore? Like that right there is going to cause so much meltdown for people. You see me, I've been clean the whole time. Yeah, now is not a time for sobriety, buddy. Is it still worth keeping Windows on its own SSD from programs on gaming PCs? That's a personal call, but the honest truth is Windows is a bully on a playground with a bootloader, and I had an issue where my machine needed to do a BIOS update, and then what ended up happening was Windows booted up while I was in the bathroom, and while I was taking a shit, Windows updated just long enough to apparently wipe out my bootloader, nuked my Linux boot, so I had to completely rebuild that, and it ended up being easier to just reinstall Pop OS, and then do that. So, beware of that. That is an issue with Windows. I think it's great. I wish they would would build homes with a server. Wait, what? I don't know what that last word is. Okay, nobody was expecting him to attack Greenland, Canada, Mexico, and Panama. I like being sober. I don't know. You should question your sobriety right now. But you know what this is reminding me of? Okay, so many of you are not young, old enough to remember this, but I remember post 9/11, Dick Cheney was talking about the axis of evil, you know, with Iran and everything like that. And it felt like when we suddenly pivoted and went after Iraq, it was as bad of a shot as Dick Cheney when he shot his friend hunting. I mean, seriously, he basically just came out and he's like, Iran, 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 Iraq! And just boom. Yeah, you know the story that Dick Cheney shot his friend while they were hunting? And you know what the funny thing is? Dick Cheney's such a G that even though he shot his friend apologized. I've seen Lego collectors getting pissed all over TikTok. Yeah, it's bad. Thank God for the Danish pastry. It's not coming from there. Stupid VS Code. What's going on with VS Code for you? This guy loves... Who loves Trump? Not me. I definitely didn't vote for the guy. Not the first time, and definitely not the second time. How do you like your keyboard? So, I like it. I have the System 76, Launch Heavy over here. And I have the System 70 Launch over here. So, the only difference is that between these two keyboards, the Launch Heavy has the numpad and the other doesn't. But I love the fact that if you notice... phone my, Meshtastic. But, pull this out for a sec. This has a 4-port USB hub, 2 USB-Cs and 2 USB-As, and it's a USB 3 hub. The keyboard is completely open source, so you can remap it any way you want using QEMK. Yeah, it works really well. Are you allowed to swear in the Twitch chat? Fuck, shit, cock, pussy, motherfucker! Yes, you can. The bot's just a little bit sensitive. Sorry. The moderation bot that I'm using is stupid because it's like in order to catch a lot of the actual nasty bigoted bull and shit like that and all that, it catches the regular curse words. Yeah. It's just kind of jank that way. I try to release them as I catch them, and so do my mods, but, we can't catch everything. Want to know something? Jam Jingles have a snippet of that news story from New York when they were showing them making a jingle about WNBC. Wait, what? Correction, WABC. Okay. It's also great that with the advent of online media and everything, let me put it this way. If George Carlin were around and could actually have his own Netflix specials and everything like that, he would have loved it. Remember the 7 dirty words that you can't say on TV? And he did. Yeah, he got in so much trouble, I think, for that kind of shit. Man, like, early stand-up was something else. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, stand-up today, not that great. Eddie Murphy, Raw, was hilarious. You had Richard Pryor talking about how he was freebasing and lit himself on fire. You had, there were so many different things that happened. The Dick Cheney shooting his friend. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I have to make a mention here because I know as bad as Dick Cheney was, and I know people weren't a fan of George Bush. I said this on Blue Sky and Mastodon. Because people are asking me, how the hell did we manage to elect Donald Trump? And I have to say, it's in part due to the desensitization that we've had of political rhetoric. What I mean by that is, I may not agree with Donald Trump. I may not agree with George Bush Jr. I may not have agreed with Dick Cheney. But all in all, I think their heart was in the right place. Follow me for a second here before you chew my ass out. Because I don't think there's anyone that would really say, like, oh, I wouldn't be willing to have a beer with George Bush and talk with him. You may have some ideas you don't agree with, but I feel like you can chat with him. Same thing as Obama. I think you can grab a beer with Obama and you can chat with him and maybe agree and disagree with him on different things. But people were calling Bush the devil and all these things. He's an authoritarian and all of this. The same thing that they're calling Donald Trump today. The problem is, we got so used to people calling every politician that when we finally get an authoritarian prick that is actually a devil to the country and, promoting things that will ruin the country, like the equivalent of the modern Holly Smoot Act and everything like that. They didn't give a fuck. They just really thought like, oh, it's just, their opponents just doing the typical rhetoric of calling everyone evil. And they tuned out and they didn't do their own research. And now you have a bunch of the Trump supporters fucking around and finding out and waking up and realizing, oh my God, he is actually putting the tariffs. Oh my God, he is putting, the Guantanamo camp. And like, I didn't know he was going to do that. And I'm like, motherfucker, did you not pay attention to what he actually said? Wish they didn't believe wanted to go to war or just happened that terrorists attacked the Trade Center. I believe the same thing. I don't think he really wanted to go to war. It was that war was more or less thrust upon him with the 9/11 attacks. That was, there's no way around it, a terrorism event that was designed to cause fear in the hearts of Americans and killed, couple thousand or so people, maybe more, when you talk about that. No one is freaking out. I'm a Trump supporter. Buddy, you may want to go look around. I know a lot of people that have taken down their Trump signs, even just in my own neighborhood. The groceries are going up. Trump is saying that everyone's going to be feeling pain in the short term, for grocery bills when he was elected to, bring groceries in. And y'all are coping like, well, we voted to, have our country kept safe. No, y'all voted because you said, our groceries are so expensive. We want this. Who is we? We don't want this. So you want tariffs, you want the stock market plummeting, which is tied to the retirement systems of the United States. You want a unelected bureaucrat that is not even an American-born person to have access to your data just as much as mine and everything with the OPM and everything going on there. You want a government that is actually not obeying the rule of law and order when it comes to the laws that have already been passed in terms of the finances and, of course, the government watchdogs with the inspectors general. You want Elon Musk, who is basically violating the Logan Act that an American citizen that is not authorized cannot negotiate upon America. Then you hit a troll, buddy. Yeah, they set up a new email server, the same thing, ironically, they complained about Donald Trump doing. You have to travel in a few weeks. What was that mask you were wearing for DEF CON, please? Oh, okay. So, hold on. I will pull it up for you. So, face mask with fan. Bear with me. It was this. This is the one I was using. It's a face mask with a fan. They're like $35 a piece. Reusable. My advice, get a battery pack. Because the fan will last maybe 6 to 8 hours depending on how long you want it. But yeah, it works pretty well. Egg prices though, right? Oh yeah, egg prices are absolutely horrible. Like what, I think somebody was showing me egg prices somewhere reached up to $9 a dozen. Russia can at least feed its population. Yeah, well modern Russia can. Soviet Russia couldn't. I set up an email server. Hillary did the same, and look what the GOP did. And that's what pisses me off. Like, I love whenever people like come in and think that because I don't like Trump, I must be a liberal, but don't realize probably because it was before I was on social media. I didn't like Hillary Clinton either. F her. Like, everyone that's like, well, you know, if you voted for Hillary Clinton, we wouldn't have had Donald Trump. And I'm like, Hillary Clinton was just as much of a war hawk as Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton violated the national security of this country by running a Microsoft Exchange server, which, mind you, did not even have a TLS cert added on it. So all her email was going unencrypted. It wasn't even encrypted in transport. And I'm not saying like, oh, you know, it's not encrypted to level Proton. That's encrypted at rest. I'm talking about the basic, bare minimum, having a secured connection, the same thing as the lock icon that tells you your communication is secure. You have to understand the rules don't apply if you're rich enough. Yes, that is very true. And that's what upsets me is, from what I understand, because of what I do in my job and things like that, I'm probably going to be fine, financially speaking. I'm probably going to have to cut back just a little bit with all, you know, everything going on with higher, you know, groceries and everything like that. It's just a little bit of a discomfort for me. But there's so many friends out there. There's so many relatives out there that actually can't afford things as it is. Hell, I had a few Trump supporter friends that were flipping the shit out. Remember when there was a freeze on all the benefits and everything? Several of them couldn't get their prescriptions filled that day because the systems were locked out in Medicaid. And they were freaking out about if they were going to get their food stamps or anything. And I remember just saying, like, buddy, I wish I had sympathy for you, but you voted for this. The leopards ate my face. I never thought the leopard eating face party would eat my face. Also saw a fresh out of high school intern reviewing government code. What the fuck? What if they give the Treasury a virus? That is a possibility. Because apparently, you know, they're not respecting basic cybersecurity rules when it comes to you don't plug strange systems into into different systems. Some of those systems, when it comes to OPM and the Treasury, are air-gapped. You have SCIF, the sensitive, compartmentalized, or whatever. Basically, it's the way they secure files. A lot of those systems are air-gapped. $5.99 med, 12x, $9 large, 12x. Oh, medium eggs. Damn. Thank God for Costco. I just bought 2 dozen eggs for like $8, free range, organic. Costco is, and here's the thing I'm gonna tell y'all, and I have streams to prove this. I was telling y'all to get Costco memberships before it was fucking cool. Hold on.
I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider.
I was telling y'all about Costco and how amazing it was and everything before that. I was telling y'all, like, if you are within driving distance of a Costco, even if it's a few miles further than a Sam's Club, cut your Sam's Club card up and go to Costco. Not only do they treat their employees better, but they have so much better things. Oh, and I'm gonna have to share a picture of this in the Discord, and I'll do it on Blue Sky as well. I got a deal from Costco, so I now have a water delivery service. So I have 5-gallon jugs of water delivered to me, spring water, $8.50 for the spring water. But then I get a water cooler. They covered like the first month of shipment for this. That has heated water and a little sanitization system in there. The water delivery company maintains the whole thing. It's like $6 a month for the actual water thing. Gitz thought I was crazy at first, and I'm like, you've never had a water cooler in your home. I had one when my mom was doing nails and had like the whole salon and everything in her basement, and it was one of those amenities, and I thought it was like great. So, yeah. Get shit like that. I get my fancy water. I go get 15 bottles of San Pellegrino water. Like, this isn't San Pellegrino, but you get the concept. For like $20. Like, you usually buy those bottles, like 750 milliliter bottles. Do I have any here? No, I only have Gerolsteiner in here. I usually get those bottles, you get them like $3-4 a pop if you go to like any other store. What's the best Costco membership tier? So you have 2 tiers of membership. Well, technically there's 4. But there's 2 for consumers and 2 for business. So let me get this out of the way. For all of you that keep seeing the videos on TikTok and all that of like people with like racks upon racks upon racks of eggs, like multiple dozens of eggs, restaurants also use Costco for a lot of their supplies. But either way, you have a base Costco membership that's $60 per year. Gets you access to everything. I have the executive membership, which is a step up. It's $120 per year. The advantage with that is you get 2% back for everything you buy. So I'm not kidding you. I have a Costco credit card, which I just use for gas. And the gas alone, just using that for gas, I get $60 every year for a Costco gift certificate. Depending on how much you drive, it can be 60 to 100. You get 4% back on gas. So you use their gas, 4% back, or any other gas station. But then the Costco membership gives you another 2% back. So like this year, I had a $180 gift certificate that I got to use for Costco. So it paid for my membership, and then I got $60 back on top of that. And I'm just a single dude that lives with one other person and 2 dogs. I buy all my dog food from there. I buy a lot of the dog treats from there, and stuff like that. So it's very worthwhile. I usually shop at the closer store that's major in my state. Yeah, I split it between Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, and Costco. But I'm really trying to reduce how much I go to Whole Foods. And the only thing I'm really buying from Whole Foods lately is the wine. Unfortunately, they are the only ones that have a decent Portuguese wine selection of at least 4 or 5 different kinds. Trader Joe's has Esmeralda, which is like it's cheaper, but the issue is it doesn't fit my fucking wine fridge I bought. That's a priority. Hey, what's up, Productions? Oh, I gotta check out your code in the Blue Sky. I just haven't had time this weekend to really sit down and analyze that code. I'm hoping to do it this week so I can get Blue Sky posting integrated in when I go live on Twitch. I don't get to go to Costco. You're gonna be on Tech Radio again tonight. Thank you. I learned a lot from your life. Appreciate it. That's why I do these things. I don't get to go to Costco very often. I'll have to change that. I don't drive. Yeah, it's totally worth it. And here's the other thing that you should know about Costco. When you get a Costco membership, you can get 2 people on your Costco membership per household. So what you can do, even though you know you shouldn't, gift it to a family or a relative, and then just on the Costco file, say they live with you. If you get a Costco executive membership, whenever they buy things with your executive membership, you get the 2% back. I gave the card to one of my best friends. So I basically piggyback on him because he's got like 5 kids. So when he bulk buys things, and I only started this a couple months ago, and I'm pushing him to go do more bulk buying and everything like that because it actually ends up being cheaper for him, especially. Because I actually walked him through one day when he was, because he recently was divorced, and I'm like, dude, you make a little bit more money than you did before. Where's all your money going that you keep being broke and you need help to, pay for food? It's like, I'm not, opposed to helping out friends when they're in need, but it's like, this is happening too much. Is there a way I can come in and help you to analyze where you're spending your money? And in his case it was the dollar stores. The dollar stores are the enemy of the poor. They really are. Everyone thinks, oh, well, they're cheap, they're dollar stores, they're low. They're actually more expensive. They actually have smaller quantities of items that per, item are more per unit more per volume. So you think it's cheaper, but it's actually more expensive when you tally it up. And that's compared to a regular store. Now, once you go to Costco, like, it tips, oh my God, in an insane way. I don't stream yet, so I don't know if this works. No stress, just let me know. Yeah, well, I will test it out. So what I normally do when I tinker with it is I find a streamer that I like, and I'm going to make a dummy account on Blue Sky, and then I'm going to make a bot account on my Mastodon. That way I don't flood the feed, and I just, keep testing it, remove the text file it creates, and then just keep doing it. Now what I'm going to try to do is, if you haven't already, I'll try Dockerizing it and everything too. That was just more of a thing I wanted to get Dockered, and then what I think would be cool if I can get it Dockerized is then I could push it into the Docker hub, so then people could actually just pull it from Docker. That'd be really cool if I could get that done. Is it a separate card? Yeah, it is a separate physical card. So how it works is when you want to add someone to your household membership, you physically bring them into the store with you because they have to get their picture taken because it's put on their Costco card, and they're given a Costco card right then and there. It's not mailed to you or anything. You get your Costco card made right at the customer service desk. So when you get your membership, here's how it goes. When you go to Costco for the first time, you go into Costco. You don't go into the regular entrance. You go actually in through the exit. And the exit usually has customer service desk right there. Go straight there to membership services, create your membership. Then what you do is you add whoever you want on that membership. You will have to be there with the other person for the first time to get said membership. And then as long as your membership is current with Costco, you don't have any issue. Now, if your Costco membership expires when you go to check out one day, just so you know, you are expected to pay for the membership right then and there on the spot. Which is why I always use part of my certificates when I get my thing to renew my membership. I actually pay like 6 months in advance. Yeah, totally worth it. I've set up Docker, it works. I've shown you the Docker works 100%. Cool, I'll have to play with it. Well, Dollar Tree used to be good years ago, but it's not good now. Dollar Tree and a lot of those things have really fought against a lot of the staples of what people once would be able to afford as someone who is poor. And I'm saying that as someone who was poor at one point. Believe it or not, once upon a time, I used to be a broke bitch in college. Like, I remember being like, I don't have much food, but I at least have $5. I can go get a footlong at Subway. I remember being like, I got $5. I can go get the dollar menu and at least get a few items. McDonald's hasn't had a value menu in years. And I know they have the value menu, but is it really that much of a value? Or are they just conditioning you to think that it's a value? The only fast food that's actually cost-effective these days? Not Chipotle, Taco Bell. Taco Bell is the only, like, real affordable fast food. Because every other fast food thing out there is as expensive as a proper sit-down restaurant. Like, I went to go get Chipotle today, just as a splurge, in part because, avocados are going to go up, and I'm like, probably the last time I'm going to get guacamole this cheap. I spent damn near $30 for just Yitz and me. Tacos and burrito. And, I kind of felt, gypped that way. Any $5 Oh, you're doing the song. Yeah, I remember the $5 foot long. I spent 20 on like 8 things at Taco Bell. Yeah. And let me guess, it was like at least somewhat of a filling meal considering how much you spent. It's not the best, but Taco Bell overall has probably been one of the ones to do the least amount of decline in terms of things. But then again, Taco Bell has always been in the market of advertising that they are cheap. I need to get like a recycling bin or something over here for all my bottles. Yep. I need to get some more wine. I'm down to 4 bottles in here. 2 meals. It's also not very healthy. So, almost no fast food is healthy. Now, if we were to actually look at Taco Bell, it is probably one of the more healthy fast food options. But that bar is so fucking low. It is so fucking low. I mean, at least from what I understand, they're not loading up your food with sawdust like McDonald's does. Did y'all know this, that what America does? Did y'all know that America, like, literally allows sawdust in burgers? I'm not even joking. McDonald's products contain cellulose, a food additive that's sometimes derived from wood pulp. Cellulose is also used in other food. Okay. Apparently it's used in Taco Bell too. Go figure. Everyone's doing it. But here we go. Yeah, it was an NPR. About a decade ago. There's a Chick-fil-A being built near me. Oh, you have God's chicken. So I'm gonna be honest. I think Chick-fil-A is overhyped. And I'm not saying that, like, okay. Let's put the whole, anti-LGBTQ thing aside, okay? Let's look at the Chick-fil-A as the Chick-fil-A sandwich and everything. Their chicken's overhyped. Yeah, did they ban Coca-Cola? Who banned Coca-Cola? Now, I don't think it's banned in the U.S. Are you referring to a specific company? Now, I know a lot of companies... No, they didn't ban Coca-Cola. See, you know what? If we want to make America great again and return America to the old times, like how RFK Jr. is talking about, like, you want to remove high fructose corn syrup and bring Coca-Cola back to the old formula? That ain't the old formula we want. We want the formula with Coca-Cola. You know what I'm talking about? Be able to take a Coke, be able to, like, imagine. I just want to be able to go, like, woo! That kind of Coke. Put the Coke back in Coke! In U.S. and Belgium. Yeah. Put lithium back into 7-Up. Lithium. Yeah! And while we're at it, 7-Up, when you put lithium back in it, put Nirvana back on the, not back on, but put Nirvana on the title. With lithium. Big music references for 500, Alex. In Canada, we have good fast food like Harvey's, 100% beef cooked on a grill. I've tried Harvey's. Harvey's is good. Wait. Am I thinking of the same thing? Hold up. Yeah, I've tried Harvey's. Long ago. Yeah, I tried it when I was in Toronto many, many years ago. That shit was good. DevOps versus front end. Pros and cons. Well, I don't really do coding or anything like that. So I can't really speak too much on it. However, I can say that Yitz, the guy I'm seeing, he does front end stuff a lot of times. So, but he can also do DevOps. He'd probably be the better one to speak on it, but I personally don't have experience to speak much about that, other than the implementation of like Veracode and things like that into the pipelines. So, also, if you want to practice Spanish, Radio Cuba. Ooh. Google aspartame. Oh, aspartame is the isn't that the shit that caused migraines and everything? Because I think my aunt is actually allergic to it. Or, like, it causes major issues with her, if I remember. Yeah, like, that's something we avoid and all that. Front end seems like a nightmare. I do embedded C. That seems like a nightmare. Both of those. Yeah, he does front end, and I can't do the pretty thing. I can't do it. Like, if you ever look at the apps I've built, they're ugly and they work in CLI, but they work. I thought you were going to say back-end stuff. Yeah, back-end stuff. It's a preferable nightmare. I'm not okay. I mean, it could be worse. You could be like my pen test friend that actually likes PHP. Parrot, if you're watching right now, please seek some help. Dev vibes are UX is hard. Yeah, UX is definitely hard. Light drinks seem to be giving you the hangover without getting buzzed first. Tell me about it. Like, this is what I tell people all the time. Skip diet drinks. Diet drinks are actually worse for you than the regular drinks themselves. I tell people all the time, if you're going on a diet and you want to cut calories and stuff like that, sparkling water. Like, get yourself some good sparkling mineral water. It's good for you all over, and I don't think anyone's going to argue with me on that point. Not filtered water, mineral water. Like a good spring water, like Ice Mountain or anything like that. You need something that has the minerals in there. It tastes good, it feels good, and the hardest part at first is sugar is the worst drug. Too many people are addicted to sugar. You know what I'm talking about. It is one of the hardest things to kick. The sugar part was hard. So what you can do, and this is what I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to be getting some new SodaStream bottles. I just reminded myself I need to order SodaStream bottles because I meant to do that earlier. I'm going to order some new SodaStream bottles, use my SodaStreams, and what I'm going to start doing is make my own sparkling water to save a buck, unless I want to be bougie and get my Italian sparkling water with can you get mineral water at Costco full circle? Yeah. So they have two kinds there from what I've seen. You can get the San Pellegrino, which is it's similar to this. This is the Whole Foods one. It's the same thing. It's Italian sparkling water. You can get a case of 15 750 milliliter bottles for about $20. It's cheaper to get it at Costco than it is to buy them individually because it's $3 or $4 usually a bottle. So you get quite a significant savings. Now, Costco also has their own Kirkland brand sparkling water. The reason why I don't get that one is if you look at the mineral content, San Pellegrino is a little bit better. Now, I will be honest and say this is my favorite sparkling water, Gerolsteiner. Um, for a couple of reasons. Um, this one just tastes a little bit better for me, but the total minerals in this are a lot better. Like, let's look at that label for a sec. You've got calcium, you've got magnesium, you've got... I'll just read it for you. You got calcium, magnesium, bicarbonate, potassium, sodium. There's chloride in here. Sulfate. They got like all other minerals in there. There's 2,500 milligrams per liter of minerals in here. And let me put you down on something else. There's a lot of misinformation out there about zero water. You know the water filter that removes all total dissolved solids? You don't want that. You want dissolved solids in your water, because what happens is if you have water with no minerals in it, it will pull the minerals from your body. And that's why you end up being thirstier, because it's just making your ear a little bit drier. So don't use those TDS meters, the total dissolved water meters, because you want water that has dissolved solids in it. You just don't want too much in it. And then the question is what you have in there. So, like, yeah, magnesium, calcium, those are good things for you. I'm drinking a San, yeah. San Pellegrino, pomegranate, orange drink mix. Yeah, that's good shit. I had an idea last week that is similar to Meshtastic. Well, what if everyone started an over-the-air mesh? Well, that's kind of what Meshtastic is. So the idea with Meshtastic is you host your own node. And your device, just by connecting it to your phone, it doesn't even have to be the phone, just by being on and, you know, able to send and receive data, is a node that can then be used to relay the connection out. So all we need to make this a more effective network is more people to go out and buy these devices and then just have them run. I found out there's like 7 nodes near me. So what I'm trying to do is make a proper outdoor node so I can take one of these devices with me as I travel and go to work and start doing some radio spotting. Also, I'm eventually going to be working on my ham radio license too. That's been determined. Gitz and I are probably going to do it as a couple thing. So yeah. Or just get whiskey. Well, see, if I drank as much whiskey as I do water, I wouldn't be sober. But then again, most days I don't feel like being sober either. So I want to do the internet node later. I'm trying to do the whole mesh network first offline, because what I'm trying to do is set up communications with some friends and family off the grid in case shit hits the fan. It's one of those better to have it and not need it situations. Do y'all remember when this happened a couple of phone networks. When AT&T went completely down that one day, and then I think T-Mobile also did the same another day, or was it Verizon? Those kind of situations. I want to make sure that I have backups to at least communicate with different people and be able to reach out with people in an emergency situation. That's secure. And the advantage of this as well is then I can broadcast the GPS. So I'm planning for a situation in which I can't rely on the internet. Not trust, but can't rely upon the internet or a cell network. It's extreme, but I was like thinking California wildfires, things like that, you know. So it's one of those. My grandfather, may he rest in peace, he was former Air Force. He trained all of his kids and grandkids to basically be like, expect the best, prepare for the worst. Like, he's the reason why in my trunk I usually have tools and stuff in case of a down situation. I gotta redo my survival little thing in there. Not survival, but like, it's just the general, like, emergency kind of thing. Like, there's a heated blanket, warmers, all of that kind of thing in case my car gets stuck and cold, as well as, You know, being able to dig myself out and patch and roadside emergencies, as well as, God forbid, somebody, you know, is in an accident, seatbelt cutters, glass breaks, all that kind of thing. It's the better to have it and not need it thing. GLHF on the games. Oh, yeah. We'll be switching in a little bit when I go to the bathroom to that. I love lead in my water. It makes it sweeter. It also makes me dumb. It makes me sweeter too! Well, but what if it's an open and a zero trust setup? Or does it relay other people's messages too? It relays other people's messages too without your awareness. So if you are not in the channel and all of that, so like, let me show you. So if I, shit, my device is over there. But basically when I create the channel, I have to generate a pre-shared key. I have to share that key with people in order to read my messages. They're AES encrypted. All I'm doing is relaying over that mesh. So let me show you an image that might help you understand. So similar to a hub and a network, kind of. So like, hold up. Learn more. Here we go. This image. So imagine, if you will, all of these devices can talk to each other over LoRa, right? But all they're doing is hopping and relaying. So like these can see and then transmit against each other. And then the endpoint is either connected to via Bluetooth, or it's directly its own little thing with LoRa, like LilyGo T-Decker, stuff like that. So, yeah. It works really, really nice. It's long range. The record so far is 331 kilometers. You don't need a phone to do it. You can literally just have a node to run it. It's decentralized. There's no router. You get excellent battery life. Apparently, this guy over here can probably run up to 2 days. Why the hell did my thing just zoom in on me? Extreme close-up. Whoa! Apparently the computer just hit the zoom button on my remote. Software-defined radio. I mean, you can do an SDR with this. It's just a 915 megahertz band. Yeah. Hold on. Catching up. Can I buy it prefabricated? Yes. So there are prefabricated Meshtastic devices. So like, 1 second. So this is one I'm playing with that I'm doing as a DIY. This is a Heltec V3. I'm just putting it out there. I haven't gotten this one to work. I might have messed that one up and have to buy another one. But these are all inexpensive. Like the most expensive unit I've seen is like $90. And I'm going to show you that one in a sec. So this is a prefab one. This is the SenseCap T1000. I'll drop links and all that for all of these when I make the YouTube video of what I'm using. This guy is rugged. It's IP65 rated, so it can get a little bit wet. I'm planning to use this one for like when I go to hikes, attach it to my dogs when I go on hikes with them, so I can use it as a GPS tracker on my dogs. And this apparently can get a couple mile range. Now, the other one, I just had it, I swear to God. There we are. This one's the most expensive one in my arsenal. This is the LilyGo T-Echo. So, I added this antenna on top because it's a little bit better than the stock antenna. The stock one worked all right, but of course, you know, this whip will get it a little longer. And then all you have to do is flash these devices with the Meshtastic specific firmware. This has an e-ink display. I can show you that. So it actually tells you, like, little things, and it updates on occasion. It has a GPS built in. So like it's saying Meshtastic Pixel. It's actually referring to this is the one it's relaying signal off of, or at least the closest one. There's a capacitive touch button at the top, and just 2 buttons over here, and then you can connect over Bluetooth with this guy. Can you get a location through an app? Yes. Yes, you can. So the Meshtastic app does have a map built in, and then you just have to turn on the GPS in this device. These two have GPS built in as well. Meshtastic turns GPS off by default, because obviously a lot of people want to be private. But some people want to broadcast their GPS. Some of these devices even include temperature and pressure sensors. This version does not, but you can get that added in if you want. Like Apple Find My. Kind of. I have saw a video of that kind of radio like yesterday. So like Matrix with Verify, a little bit, kind of. Laura's less further. Laura can get a few miles. It depends on your antenna and environment. But like this guy, stock, could apparently do like up to 5 miles in an open environment. Like I go outside and, I have line of sight and things like that. Actually, with this antenna, I realized when I was sleeping, because I left this running, because I was trying to collect data, I managed to collect a node that was 4.98, or, it was like, yeah, it's 5 miles, give or take, away from me. So you can get some distance, and this was inside the house. Not even outside. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is I want to get an outdoor node. I'm looking at a case. Let me see if I can share it. Somebody shared this in my Discord. So I'm looking at this case. Not the specific one, but there's a different model I saw. Hold on. Enclosures, outdoor enclosures, was it? But yeah, there was, like something like this, you see with the antenna and everything. Put a rack board inside of there, and then what I was going to do is mount an antenna on the side of my house, put a 5-foot big antenna, and just have that, like, be able to reach a lot further. Was going to put that on the second story of my house. But yeah, you can do a lot with it. Is it working with dongles? I mean, you can. Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter. So I don't really have a newsletter per se. I have a Discord server. I have a Blue Sky. I have a Mastodon. Those are where I'm most active, as well as the Matrix server. And then, of course, I have my YouTube as well, and YouTube is where I like to put my longer thoughts on things. The videos on YouTube usually are about 10 to 15 minutes long. So TikTok is kind of where I go of, hey, this is a quick little thing. You're going to not get a deep dive into it. It's surface level, at least 1 minute long, maybe up to 3 minutes. And then if you want deeper than that, that's where I go to YouTube. YouTube is where I compile all the different things I want to talk about, work through it, and then edit it. Tomorrow, I'm working on my next video if I have time. I'm going to be working on, it's going to be either tomorrow or Wednesday, how to run AI and LLMs locally. So I'm working on that. I know I've done it on TikTok already, but YouTube is where I want to consolidate a lot of the content as well, because I want to make it a resource a lot of people can refer to, because the problem with TikTok is, 1, we don't know if this app is going to be around. 2, TikTok moderation gets stupid. 3, once you, swipe away from a video and you haven't favorited it, it's gone forever. And 4, even when you do favorite it, it's horrible to organize. So YouTube is a lot better as a resource to, make a library of content for, to refer back to days, weeks, months, years later. But no way to see messages. You can see the messages. So, let me show you. So, if your Meshtastic has a screen, you can actually display it, but you can also send it across. And if you notice, see? The e-ink display will display the message. So it depends on your Meshtastic device if it has a screen and how you configure it to display that. You're the technology boy in the series about the apocalypse. I mean, I've been told many times if apocalypse comes, I'm on people's teams for different things. Because I am the resourceful type. Did you say that little thing can transmit 300 kilometers? No, that's the farthest someone's managed to do with LoRa. And I think in their case, they were on the top of a hill, and it was on top of a radio tower. So, of course, just like anything, elevation is your friend. So if you can somehow mount a node at a very, very high elevation to broadcast down, you can then spread it much further. Chief, don't say whip while you have a kinky community. I mean, I'm the guy that literally 3D printed nipple clamps, so, yeah, I used to have a really fun time 3D printing lots of fun toys and watching the children be like, what is that? And like the comment section going like, if you have to ask, you don't need to know. And then TikTok, you know, started being dicks to the adult community. Do they support multiple channels at once? Yes, they do. Let me check. Hold on. Not that phone. Give me 1 sec. I think you can do up to 16 or 8, if I'm not mistaken. 1 second. I'm checking. It doesn't really tell me, but you can. I definitely know that you can do a few channels on here. There's all options for secondary channels and everything. So if you go to, what is it, client.meshtastic.com. Let me see, hold on. Oh, client.meshtastic.org. Sorry. You should... Yeah, okay, so the channels you can set up. Config. Doesn't I think it's device specific, but you can have a few. I think on mine it was like 8 or 16. I'm not sure. It could be an open channel or shared channel. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. Many people could create a large mesh network. Well, yeah, that's kind of the idea. What are the FTC guidelines on these? So the FTC guidelines on these are you do not need a license to operate these as is. But if you attach an amplifier, you know, you do anything to start, you know, making it boost its signal larger than normal because you're transmitting data, you will want to use a ham license, as well as the fact that with this, if you do have a ham license, you can actually flip the switch. There's an option in the firmware, is licensed, and then you can punch in your call sign, and then, you know, that can be broadcast with it, so that way it'll be Meshtastic, blah, 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 blah. So that is good to, you know about that. So, but out the box, you don't need a license for doing a lot of these things. It's when you start like playing with amplifiers and everything like that. So everything I'm showing you up until the point I start playing with amplification, you can do yourself. Swap an antenna, get higher elevation. Yeah, you're fine. Thank you for the follow, Chris Unchecked. That's a Simpsons quote. Link the RSS feed. What RSS feed? Solar power. Just make sure you have a backup option in case of volcanic eruption. So that's actually what I was gonna do. So on the back of my house, I actually have a weather-resistant outlet that I put there. I was going to see if there was a way to run the power to that. So the options I was looking at was either running the I was actually looking at if I could do it with this guy. I was going to run it on the UPS that I have running my cell network as well, because that UPS will last at least an hour or two in a down situation, and then this would have a battery on top of it, and then run the wires in the same little pipe that I had for the cell antenna that I have running outside, and I would just run an antenna on the outside of the house and have the device inside the house. But you know, yeah. Or did you say MLMs? No, we're not talking about them Huns. And I'm not a fan of MLMs or anything like that. I knew too many friends that fell for that bullshit. Also, we're near a local solar maximum. My grandpa talked about ham operators using that for long range. Yeah, I heard about that. Tighten the bolt on the microphone stand. It's as tight as it goes. I gotta get a new stand in general that can withstand the weight of the microphone. It's the angle and everything that I have it because I have it mounted against the wall. And I was trying to arch it over the monitor, so I have to get another arm that goes up high enough behind the monitor and then can cross over. I just didn't want to spend the money on it right now. Is LoRa and Meshtastic the same? So LoRa is just long range. Meshtastic operates on LoRa. Does that make sense? Meshtastic is just its own little thing. And then you can actually run it through an internet gateway to be networked to other LoRa devices. Other Meshtastic devices using, was it MQTT? I think it is. There's ways to get that. So eventually I'll have the internet gateway attached to it, but I'm not there yet. Probably the most asked question, but what are you running on your PC OS-wise and network-wise? I'm running Pop OS for my main driver, currently 2204. And then I have Windows 10 Enterprise for the actual stream box. Yes, 10 Enterprise. Not Pro, not Home, Enterprise. I have a key that when I used to work for an employer that was a Windows 7 Enterprise key, and it's grandfathered in, and my former boss is totally cool with me using the key as long as I don't give it out and I just use it for my own computers. That was how it was, and he said the same thing when I left. So it'll work for Windows 11 when I eventually upgrade to that. Network-wide, I'm using a pfSense firewall for my network, and then there's Unify switches and access points for adding stuff. There's Cat6a shielded run throughout the house. That's how I do my streams. My desktops are hardwired. If I do use the Wi-Fi in them, that's because I'm making an ad hoc network. Totally different reasons why I do that, but that's just tinkering. But also, can it be used with repeaters? So any Meshtastic client is a repeater. That's just the easiest thing, is once you have a Meshtastic device added, it is in fact a repeater as well. So it will repeat the signals from other Meshtastic devices that happen to be in the area. That's why it's called Meshtastic. It's making a mesh of different nodes to broadcast against each other. And it will find the nearest hop to relay that message through. The outdoor roof antenna will be on solar panel. Okay. Thanks for subscribing there, Master Prongles. Tell me about the cell antenna. Better signal. So the cell antenna is definitely for better signal. So I have a 5G cell modem for my backup internet. I talked about this in YouTube. One of my earliest YouTube videos is me upgrading my cell backup network. Let me see if I can pull that up. YouTube.com. So I'm talking like this is definitely an early video. Yeah, 4 months ago. Upgrading my 5G backup internet for the home lab. Why a strong antenna matters for stable signal. So the 5G modem itself, on one side of the house would get really great signal, but the side of the house where the network rack is, it went abysmally bad. So I had to add an external antenna in order to get a decent signal, and then I ran that through the outside. With 4G, it wasn't as much of an issue because 4G and 3G could penetrate walls reasonably well. 5G sucks at penetration. Giggity. Are you American? Unfortunately. I want backup internet by SIM card. Yeah. A lot of people don't know this, but if you're in the US, which I think you're Canadian, if I'm not mistaken, you can get T-Mobile. T-Mobile has a backup internet plan, a straight backup internet plan, 5G for only $20 a month. It's not, there's not a lot of data there. It's, I think, like only 150 gigabytes of data per month. But it is strictly a backup internet. Like, I only have it there just for the backup for the situations where my main cable internet has gone down for a day or two. Enterprise make it so. Is your streaming machine a VM or a real side machine? It's a real machine. It's another box. It's not super powerful. This one is the workhorse. This one's the one with the pretty neon and everything in it. This one is just doing what needs to be done. Originally, it was just a Windows test box that I had just enough in there for Autodesk Fusion 360 when I was getting into 3D printing and doing a little bit more 3D CAD design until ADHD took over and I got swamped with too many side projects. This has a Ryzen 5700X, an NVIDIA 3050, and 64 gigs of RAM. That's only because when the 32 gig that I originally installed started going bad, it was like $10 more to get 64. And that's got the capture cards and stuff, of course. So it works pretty well as a streaming box. My plan eventually is to see if I can get this doing streams and run an LLM at the same time, because eventually I want to have an LLM tied into a Twitch bot that can be fun and do some quirky things, because I've seen that with other streamers, but I want to run it locally. And if I can do that, great. If not, I'm probably going to pick up an NVIDIA Jetson at some point and have it run the Twitch bot to do that kind of thing. Or at least locally host the LLM, and then I'll tie into it over the network to send the request through StreamerBot. Have my own little AI network of things. I feel like a caveman who stumbled into Symposium. It's like I understood some of those words. You hang around long enough, you'll actually understand more. The saying that I tell people is, I don't like being the smartest person in a room. I like being the dumbest person in a room, because when you're the dumbest person, you'll always be able to learn something. And if I ever do feel like I am the smartest person in the room, I will purposely take myself and go find smarter people. So you can only learn more by being around people that know more than you. And there will always be someone that knows more than you on something. So remember that and humble yourself. Sit down. Be humble. In the words of Kendrick Lamar. Change the source. What about 6G? But it's 1G higher. Did you work for an IT company in PA? No. I worked in Pennsylvania, but no, I didn't work for a company in Pennsylvania. Depends on the band. My mother has a very old median laptop, 4GB RAM, 64GB flash memory. Can I install Tiny 11? I mean, technically you can. I'm just not an advocate for Tiny 11 in the way that I just don't trust manipulating things like that, as well as the fact that Tiny 11 can have unintended consequences by removing some of those services. And the honest question I ask a lot of times is, when it comes to people using, computers like that, what are they using it for? What I mean by that is, so my grandmother was a prime example of she didn't need much. And I asked her straight up, what do you do? And she's like, I play solitaire, I check flights, I order my flights, I check my email, I, email your cousins, and, like very, very basic shit. And I'm like, okay, so we're getting you a Chromebook. So ask, whatever, relative or stuff when they're doing things like, what do they do? Because the honest truth is, I remember my cousins, stupidly, they're wealthy and they're kind of stupid sometimes with the wealth. They're like Apple people and they buy everything Apple. And I was against them buying an Apple Mac for my grandmother for a couple of reasons. One, I said it's an overpriced laptop. Two, I said if that ends up going bad, she's going to have to relearn everything, which she did. And three, my grandmother's not the best at using computers. Like, I remember when she would call me to come over and fix her computer once a week. You know what the fix was? She had so many damn tabs open in Chrome, the computer would stutter, and you just have to shut the laptop down and turn it back on. That's all it was. She couldn't remember how to close tabs and, all of that. So when I got her a Chromebook, it reduced the amount of time I had to support her computer down to 0, because it was, hey, my computer's not working again. Did you turn it off and turn it back on? Okay, it's working again. Thank you, bye! Hey, Barack, what's up, Bopper? Hey. Do you mind? Do you mind? Yes, I love you too. Barack, bo. Chev. Good boy. Hey, good dog. This is Barack. He's the youngest dog. He's 1 year old. His brother's older. He is upstairs. Arie! Yellow boy. And there's Ari. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah. Ari, Lamala. Ooh. Gotta get your nails done. That was right in my throat. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's 6 years old. He was my first dog that I ever got on my own. You're my boy. You're number one. There she go. Boy. Ooh. Ow. Those nails. Those nails. I gotta get you groomed. Ooh, you got eye boogers, buddy. You got eye boogers. Yes, you do. You better now? He's a good boy. Chev. Good boy. The breed, so, Barack is Old English Sheepdog mixed with Husky, and Arie, the dog that just left, is Red Heeler, Australian Red Heeler mixed with Jack Russell. I like mixes. They're great dogs. They're both about 50 pounds. Ari's on a diet. He's a fat ass. This card for local LM is a TPU or the A1000. Yeah, but I was thinking like NVIDIA Jetson and 3D printing a case because they're only like $250, and they have a decent amount of operations per second to do what I need to do. Just talking Discord about your AI and streaming idea. Yeah, we can do that. It's just one of those. I have to sit down and actually do it. Thanks for putting me on the music player you shared. So drag other people down with our stupidity. Great advice. Yeah, the music player thing. I've been a proponent of storing my own media for many years. So I unfortunately lost a lot of physical media. Like I had discs, VHS tapes, you know, a lot of things years ago. And then what happened was the pipe burst in the sewage and it backed up into my basement, and like the basement was pretty much ruined. I had to get the whole sewage pipe replaced and everything like that. It was a nightmare. So I've just been rebuilding a lot of my media collection ever since. So yeah, I've been ardent in telling people to like own your own media and everything because the reality is we're getting more and more towards a world where we don't own shit. We're told, hey, pay for this service, do the thing. And then you go on Spotify and Apple Music, you're like, my thing's not there. Or suddenly you are found in violation of terms of services, and suddenly your Spotify account is gone with all your playlists and everything. That's not cool. So far the only complaint I've had with this device here, and it's open source, so I'm sure it can be rectified, and I'll discuss this in the YouTube video coming up, is it doesn't work with playlists. In the way, like, I can't save an M3U playlist, add it, and then have the songs referenced. So they need to have a way for us to create playlists inside there. But otherwise, I love the device. You can organize it by folder and stuff like that. So it's great. Windows is software. Tearing it down is going to break it. It's not like a distro that you can just strip and tweak. Exactly. Man, I miss when Windows shutting down Windows actually shut it down. Yeah, I don't like this whole hybrid shutdown thing they have. You know, I remember the days when you used to shut Windows down and you had to physically press the button to shut it down. I felt so powerful. I see the point. She's using Office and emails, nothing more. Yeah, not to be confused with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So you should look up solar maximums and how they ionize the atmosphere. They allow radio operators to send farther. Interesting. What's better than Ubuntu? I like Pop! OS because it's a better fork of Ubuntu with a little bit more polish. Ubuntu's okay as a server. And when it comes to servers, I'm either Debian, Ubuntu, and then business, often Red Hat. Yeah, Jack Russells are definitely very smart. You got to keep those dogs active, though. You got to keep their brains active and teach them commands. That's why I teach them commands in different languages. Mostly Hebrew. Because I like the fact that I can tell my dogs things and random strangers can't command my dogs. I was about to DIY one and ask what for the software and to use your 3D printer. DIY what? My brain! I'm thinking to install ReactOS on an old Lenovo laptop just for the fun. ReactOS is fun to play with. Just remember, it's beta software. It's beta. Very beta. So, it can break. But I think it's a really great project with really ambitious goals to have an EXE and DLL compatible Windows operating system that's completely open source. I don't know if they'll ever get there, but I hope to God they do. Because if they manage to be completely compatible to Windows, then yeah. Oh, the MP3 Slayer software. Okay. You can pick up the parts to DIY it yourself if you want. Yeah, they have the entire schematics open source. Any thoughts on Open Media Vault? I haven't used it too much, but I know some people that like it and it works pretty well for their uses. NixOS or Arch? For personal? I still use Pop! OS for my personal stuff. NixOS is interesting, but most shit is actually designed to just you kind of have to work NixOS into getting things working, and I'm more emphatic on getting things to work than making them work in a novel way. Even Cube's OS, which is my other favorite one, is nice, but it's a bit cumbersome for certain things. World Economic Forum 16, 8 predictions for the world in 2030. You will own nothing and be happy. Exactly. And that's the kind of attitude I'm trying to fight against. We need to learn to own our media. We need to learn to own a lot of our shit. I don't like the way a lot of the world is going, where we're too comfortable with just handing over our data for free to get a service, and we don't own shit. Nice talking with you. I'll watch for your YouTube on Meshtastic. I'm super interested. All right, Froglet. See you around. Thank you. So beta, it's alpha. The MP3. Oh yeah, Tangara. Hold on. Open source. Blah 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 blah. Let me see where they put it. So the website they have is cooltech.zone. And there you go. The sources are on Codeberg. I'll drop that in the Discord for you. So they have the Tangara firmware, hardware, SAMD firmware, and themes. So they are open sourcing everything. And it looks like... Yep, they have the schematics in here. So you could potentially send the keycad and stuff to someone to get the hardware manufactured that you need if you can't purchase the pieces. You can even purchase it from PCBWay, which they mentioned there, who kind of sponsored it. So there's a few ways you can do it. I don't know how much it'll cost to source it yourself, how much of the work you'll have to do yourself, but you can totally make it yourself there. That's why I like the Tangara little music player here. Completely open source. The case here, just so you know, is polycarbonate. That's how they do it. It's not 3D printed, this case. This is definitely CNC milled. I was looking at it, and I'm like, this is definitely CNC'd. Now they do have a couple 3D printed parts in here. So they have like a spring in there to retain the battery. That I believe is 3D printed. Yeah, I was poking at it a little bit. What'll be interesting is how to source like the capacitive touchscreen, the capacitive wheel. That's, I think, what'll be interesting. But I'd be curious to see if you actually end up making one. I'm doing alright, Yeti. Purchase solid. I just started self-hosting any type. I wouldn't, the Arch is just broken too much in my history tinkering and everything like that. That's the problem I have with it. It's just not stable and all that. How long are you staying on? Probably got another hour or so. What I was about to do was, hit the head. Gotta go to the bathroom. And then was probably gonna do a little bit of gaming on Linux. While we chill and talk tech and everything. Just because we do gaming on Linux every now and then doesn't mean we, stop the tech talks and everything like that. What time is it over there? It's about 10 o'clock. Just hit 10. So, we're going to take a quick break for a second, y'all. I'm going to use the bathroom. There'll be a BRB screen, and then we'll be back. We'll do some gaming on Linux, but y'all can still talk tech and everything. We can answer that while we play Wolfenstein and shoot some Nazis. All right. We'll be right back. 10 o'clock in the evening. All right. I'll be right back. All right. Let's fire up the Steam. Wait, do I have the hat on backwards? I have the hat on backwards. All right. Let's go to my library. There's Wolfenstein 2, New Colossus. All right, so what we have to do is make sure that the audio is piped through to y'all. So let's get pipe wire reset. What's the config on your Linux box? What do you mean, like the distro and all that? It's just Pop! OS Linux. I don't really do too much tinkering because, well, after all the years I've used Linux, I'm just happy when things work. Oh, hardware? I have the entire list down on Twitch, but the 5950X and the NVIDIA 3070. Okay, that ain't working. May have to reboot because I think I did some updates. Yep. Alright, we're going to quickly reboot the Linux box here. God bless the power of a dual PC setup. Wait, first let's do an apt update, make sure everything is in order. Apt upgrade, -Y, pattern. Alright. Just ordered 2 LoRa boards. Vetty, you're excited to get them. Which ones did you get? Should never need to reboot Linux. That's bullshit. Trust me. Every operating system needs to be rebooted at some point or another. Audio stacks get really weird when you're on audiophile stuff. I'm using a Rodecaster Pro 2, and sometimes I have to absolutely reset it. Or at least physically unplug it and plug it back in. So give me a sec. I just lost the chat screen. See if I can pull up TikTok, at least in the meantime, to see my chat over there while I do this. There we go. Health Tech Tracker V1.1. I'm not familiar with the tracker. Well, servers are totally different. It's the sound systems and certain graphical stacks that need to be rebooted a little bit more. Can I see your tat? It's just memorializing a dead friend that passed away. Obviously Jewish. Both E and I. One a day is optimum just for security purposes, phones included. Yeah, rebooting your phones once in a while is definitely a good practice. I have my Graphene OS reboot every so often. It, God forbid it ever gets stolen or something, it messes up people's ability to, you know, crack into your phone and stuff. Okay, computer's rebooted. So now, let's open up Steam. I have a friend that has one. He recommended it. What ones did you get? I got the Liligo T Echo. I got the SenseCap Tracker T1000E, and I got a Heltec V3. The Heltec V3 is the only one giving me problems right now. I may have to get another one of those. All right, let's see. Bash, opt, reset pipe wire. So what this script that I made does basically just go through my system, resets pipe wire, and then creates a combined sync. Just very basic. Now, god damn it. Okay. This happens sometimes where I think it's the GPU that's outputting it. Doesn't pass audio through until you force it. So we got that going. Yep, left. See? Like the GPU for some reason goes to sleep. Either way, good thing to reboot once in a while. All right. I didn't get the V3 because I wanted GPS. You can add GPS modules into those things. You know that. You can add GPS modules. So this has a pin out over here. So you can easily solder in the pins that come with it. It's just like a little Arduino, basically. Moved my gaming box to Linux a few weeks ago. Great so far. Yeah, I love it. I love gaming on Linux. What are your thoughts on public QR codes and tables and for menus and stuff? I fucking hate them. And I hate to say this. Well, I don't hate to say it. I actually enjoy doing this. Once in a while, I will drop a Rickroll QR code in a restaurant and walk away. It is the funniest shit. Remember the boot disk days just to get Doom to run my 486 boot disks. Oh, yeah. Hold up. Hey, the Wandering Pickle, how's it going? I love how, like, suddenly my bot was like, oh, we're gonna flag this comment for aggression. Let's kill some Nazis. Killing Nazis is always an acceptable sentence. My mother hated the menu with QR code. On one hand, I understand them. On the other hand, I hate them. I understand them because post-COVID, everyone was switching to paper menus, and there was an issue with transmission of diseases and everything like that. Now, what drives me absolutely nuts is the absolute insistence on everything being QR code, and there's no real proper checks in them. You know, because they're like I said, I can go and drop a Rickroll on somebody. What's to stop somebody from doing anything more malicious? Does streaming machine have a capture card? Yeah. It's got an AverMedia Live Gamer Duo. I would totally recommend Elgato.
Ignore the pain. Ain't dead. So keep moving.
Okay, if I remember, we were in New York.
Fifth Avenue, the state building should be near.
I hear Nazis. I hear a drone to my right. Yep. I miss when we used to play games like Tribes 2 and everything, where you actually had to, you know, be good with your aim and shit. Also, is anyone else pissed off that every single game is like a comp game? A competition game? Wait. And also, I think Call of Duty is one of the overplayed games. Tribes 2. Yeah, I would love to get a Tribes 2 Ultra XL server going again. That was my mod of choice. I can hear that damn drone. There we go. There's another one? Nope, it died. No, shut fucking you. I miss when games are complete in box and game cheat goes. Yeah, I hate the fact that we buy games now and they're like half complete and we're expected to download like a 50 gigabyte patch day 0. Oh, and there's a new Doom game coming out. Did you hear that? There's like a Doom Dark Ages or something. I'm excited to play that. I still haven't played, finished, what is it? Doom, the newest Doom. Doom Eternal. I still haven't finished that. We should definitely do that sometime. But recently with the events, I've been, of course, interested in, killing a bunch of Nazis. Doom 2. So, or the modders are expected to fix it, them because they'll do it anyway. No, that's just a Bethesda game. That's the Bethesda way of doing it.
Mama, you showed me postcards from your family in New York City. Wanted to go there. Just you and
The
me.
one thing that upsets me is I've been trying to get Wolfenstein 2009 working on Linux. The problem is, effectively, wait, is this it?
Hello, big boy.
Oh, God.
Come to test the old man's mettle.
Okay, we got a weapon upgrade over there at least. F. Todd Howard. Yeah, Todd Howard used to be great, and I don't know what happened. Like, Bethesda just kind of lost their way. Shit, I'm getting fucked.
a way to reach the top of the state building and make contact with the resistance group. Look for elevators, stairs, anything.
See you later, Yeti. Miss the old games. So much brought out my old games and running them on emulators. Yeah, the emulators are great. So I gotta be quiet about this. Oh, shit. So... I see.
Find a way to reach the top of the state building and make contact with the resistance group. Look for elevators, stairs, anything. The radiation levels should be acceptable at the top of the building.
Your voice, Anya.
Oh, threw a grenade on accident.
The glory.
I never understood why the grenade button is F. That just seems so counterintuitive to me. You ever get into Myst or Riven? Oh, God, I haven't played Myst in a minute. We should play that. Oh, yep, that was definitely...
Circumcision confirmed. Final test?
I was trying to play Xbox 360, but the emulator doesn't support my Walmart CPU. Oh yeah, I forget there are 360 emulators. Ooh! I could do Gears of War. So I've been wanting to replay Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, but then again, I also want to do it on a keyboard and mouse, so I don't know how that would go. It's kind of annoying that apparently Microsoft is going to be re-releasing Gears 1 through 3, apparently on PlayStation, remastered, but they still haven't made Gears 2 and 3 for PC. Microsoft may be trying TikTok. I am not happy about that. I'd rather them than Elon Musk. And Meta, but Meta can't really, truthfully buy it. I want to retry Myst as an adult. Yeah, I keep seeing that game, and I'm like so tempted to play it every time. Yeah, we should totally, in the future, do that. Oh, did I not pick up the Enigma card? Okay. This is the worst timeline. All evil billionaires and no superhero to stop them. Yep, we got Lex Luthor raiding the government. Elon Musk.
guts are falling out. Dead man walking.
Are you kidding me? I had the big boy gun right here. Could have taken care of him easier. Oh well. Don't make Musk sound cool and compare him to supervillains. You're right. Elon Musk is basically the clearance bin inside a Walmart version of Lex Luthor. That sounds about right. Lex Luthor at least was smart and made things like the kryptonite weapons and all that. Instead, we have a guy that destroys entire governments through incompetence.
Right, boy.
Stay calm. Let me first make it absolutely clear that I am not a Nazi.
What you say? You say you're a Nazi?
No, I am not a Nazi. I'm not. Okay?
Elon is off-brand Lex. Elon is Wish version of Lex Luthor.
Hang on. I may not be a deviant.
God, I told you, he's a goddamn Nazi.
Oh, fuck this.
Motherfucker.
Let me say this again. I ain't no goddamn Nazi.
You bring Super Special back in and you put him down right
Hey,
now.
what's up, Brain Tania?
This grenade's
Wasn't he outed using a built profile on an MMORPG? Yeah. Well, it wasn't an MMO. It was, Path of Exile 2. I forget what style game it is. It's not an MMO, per se. But yeah. So, he was, for a long time, seen as a top player in Diablo. Now, Diablo's not very hard to level up in. So, it was like there's this plausibility and deniability.
put this pen back in.
But Path of Exile 2, when he became the number 12 ranked player in the world, people started asking a serious amount of questions because that's not an easy game. I have it. I love it. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah. He basically bought an account and was sharing it. Which distro is this on? I'm on Pop! OS Linux. You are my god, sir. I am no god. Except in bed.
That's my Faraday kid.
But I appreciate the compliment.
Nazi alien conspiracy from finding us. I almost got killed by William goddamn Blazkowicz.
Which DE, Wayland or Xorg? I think this is still on Xorg. Waiting till Pop! OS 2404 comes out so I can use Cosmic Desktop Environment, which should be used Wayland more.
Do you mind?
She's breastfeeding and smoking a cigarette. That's definitely the 60s.
I survived relatively unscathed because
I saved Fergus.
when I came up. Looked like a vision out of Dante's Inferno.
Cosmic's still not ready for all I know. Yep. But it looks very promising. I like the fact that, Rust should clear out a lot of the issues that we saw with GNOME. GNOME just has... The foundation has just been, like, falling apart in different ways and not, doing justice to the GNOME environment.
Calling out.
They got really pissy with, System 76, because they forked the project, and I'm like, well, that's kind of how open source works. If somebody thinks they can do it better, they can fork the project. But yeah.
And I remember his mama. She was crawling to get to him. And the half of her body.
Mention on Low Live about a crypto bot you want to do, what crypto chain and what trading service. Yitz is looking at some. He's the programmer. Primarily Solana because that's where the meme coins are. Basically, the idea is
Like that.
we're looking to track
When you
whales' movements and mirror them. So yeah.
What are you thinking in a moment like that, huh?
He's looking at a few. Opinion on Stallman. Stallman I think we owe a lot of credit to when it comes to the Free Software Foundation and what he's done to get open source as far as it is. If it were not for him, we wouldn't be
Man,
doing a lot of the Linux GNU kind of things in the ways we do. However, I do know that Stallman, I don't know the specifics of it, made some comments that were really unsavory that led him to losing his position in the Free Software Foundation.
resting all snug.
And if I was told that, if what is true that was told to me, then I agree with him being told to step down,
That is a mystery.
because times definitely have changed.
Sweet juice they produce.
Yeah, I got a couple of my own on the way. Cute little guy.
It's a girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
what Rain Tenia said there. He founded the open source project, well, Free Software Project, but yeah.
Fucking army.
The fuckers found us.
Whales from where? So we're looking at how to track them on Solana. There's ways to track different whales and everything like that. I'm still doing more research on that front.
Copy. Move your people.
This game is so good, I love it. Yeah, I haven't played this one.
I need everybody
I don't think I ever played this one. The Colossus.
and bring all the equipment you can carry. Come on, let's hustle, people.
He's back over FSF, if I remember. That's a bit awkward for fundraisers.
Just make sure your people make it out.
I played all the other Wolfensteins, I just never played this one, from what I remember. Although we do have a tradition every Hanukkah on my streams,
Get me, you
we play Wolfenstein.
fascist Nazi pigs.
Although, given the circumstances of Musk and everything, this game felt appropriate. I forgot this area is too open. Up goes your Lego. There's got to be some armor or something. There we go. Shit, out of grenades.
Right, everyone's safely evacuated off the roof. Jump in, Blasco.
Caroline. Look. Another angel.
Alright, make sure I got all the ammo. Alright. Oh, god damn it. Can't jump with that. GNU as a whole is kind of old as a base. I think we should switch away from it.
Right, everyone's safely
Well,
evacuated.
GNU powers a lot of the different things that we do use. That is the reality of it. Although, what was it? The GNU herd kernel is still not even, like, nearly released. Oh, record. Nice. Not complying with POSIX at all. It's very bloated. Yeah, but we still have a lot of the little GNU utils in there, like the GNU C compiler and stuff used in our stuff. I definitely don't think we should switch away from GNU.
We gotta set this right.
GNU Herd is not in active development. I'm barely maintaining. Kind of died off because Linux was better. Well, yeah, but the whole idea of around a microkernel is really interesting.
We've been fighting every motherfucking day, Blazkowicz.
But monolithic kernels are just so much easier to work with. Because a microkernel, you know, you need all the different pieces to time correctly, whereas a monolithic kernel just works together.
Nazis just as much as we do. All they need is for someone to show them how.
You know who's running the South after the Nazis took over? The Ku Klux motherfucking Klan, am I right?
That's it.
So what you gonna do? You gonna go down there and hold hands with them and build bridges and persuade them to join our cause? Get your head out your ass, Blazkowicz.
Forget about the turncoats. Focus on the grassroots. I'm running on empty.
Linus had a huge fight with the dev of a microkernel. He said they're not that good. You talking about Tenenbaum, I think it was?
I've seen worse.
With the Minix kernel? Yeah.
You're right. Maybe the American people grew comfortable living under tyranny.
Now, the irony is,
Maybe the Nazis will still be
every Intel CPU these days runs Minix. Because what is the Intel management engine and all that inside of the Intel CPU, basically? It's another Unix inside of there running its own little web server to do all of that little stuff.
They don't have to take this shit no more. And if nothing else, that's what I'm gonna do before I go.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Blazkowicz. You want to strike fear in the Nazis? You want to hit them hard for all to see? You
Yeah.
wanna cause some real motherfucking
That's why I like my Purism laptop, because Intel management engine is disabled. I'm not a fan of management engine. I think it should be something that should be optional.
Send shockwaves throughout the nation.
Oh, shit. Is this the one where I go home to Roswell?
Show you right.
What do you think about this, Mike? I think I got you now, my little Goylem.
Thanks, Huss.
I don't know, Maxilla.
So this is where all
What is the Intel management engine? I know AMD has its own version. Intel management engine is basically a way for doing out-of-band management. So in an enterprise, it's very useful because you can turn on the device, boot it up, make sure that it actually is doing all the
Please.
updates and everything it needs without having to, like, touch the laptop. So for core enterprises, it makes a lot of sense. But for personal users,
No control.
not
Happy to oblige. What's up, boss?
a great idea.
You got it, sister.
All right. Listen up, brothers and sisters. The touchy Englishman is gonna show you where to set up shop. After that, I want you to look around. Find a
Gotta
place
get
to
going. You're really good, man. I wish I could support you more. Well, I appreciate it. Just coming in the stream and, you know, hanging out. That's good enough. You can also check the Discord, too, if you want to hang out there, too. The link's in the bio or discord.chiefgeek3d.com. And the Matrix server, too. And my Mastodon. And my Blue Sky. And my YouTube.
Stockpile of nuclear warheads
Yeah.
downstairs in Section F.
Hey, me. How you doing, buddy? How you been?
Sealed up the entrance to Section F because it's been flooded since the attack.
Blazkowicz, you know how to swim?
Yep.
All right.
Maybe this isn't bad. What the fuck is this? I said, what the fuck is this, man? Is this a working toilet I see before me? Handle toward my hand?
Yes, this toilet can handle all sorts of
He's making a big deal about a toilet. That's kind of funny when you think about it.
kilometers you name.
You have asswipe?
By that you mean toilet paper, yes. Of course, we need to mind directions a little bit, but
Oh.
there's S-wipe.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Yes.
Oh, my sweet God in heaven. A working, mother flushing toilet. I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah, that's kind of weird to think about. Now I understand that. It's kind of funny how they kind of called the whole like run on toilet paper early on, like, oh my god, you got toilet paper? I can wipe my ass. Okay, so where do I need to go? Section F. I find it funny that we've been in this ship multiple times and yet they like blank out the map. Like, you'd think he'd actually know the place.
Ow. Fergus put rocks in there or something?
Probably. Okay, so where am I supposed to go?
Did
Yes,
Bobo
hello,
tell you about
Captain.
this map?
Okay. Wish they gave me a better hint. No. Okay, so we got the letters there. Got a random ass rug there. Okay. Mission objective. I don't have any more upgrade kits. Okay. I just make a damn ass circle.
Oh, Shipshin! You should go to the shooting range. I've constructed a new section there. I call it the Kill House. I think you'll really...
Hallo, Herr Bleskowitz. Anja gave me this workstation.
Where the hell is section F? Okay, that's not there.
Did you see the new kill house set built in the shooting range? I tried it, but my time was like toilet.
There we go.
Evening, Captain Bleskowitz.
Grace, you read? Going fishing for that nuclear warhead now.
Got it. Keep me posted.
Alright. Apparently we have a nuclear warhead on board. Judging by the fact that I brought a gun out, probably some more Nazis. Alright, let's see. Let's go down the ladder, I guess.
Your suit, the damp heat, the maddening itch. How did you endure it so gracefully? It's fitted so tight I struggle to breathe. Yet inside, Caroline, you left a vacuum too great to fill.
I love the story in this game, though, with Blashkowitz and everything. They did a really great job with the story, because the original Wolfenstein was just, you're there, you're killing Hitler.
Need to shut down that propeller fan. One
Oh, there we are. There's a button to shut down the fan. Well, that thing's broken.
Your suit and the cause is all that keeps me upright. And Anya, her voice, her glory, it buckles me.
Here we go. Okay, so we got drones basically down here. Alright, we at least got full body armor. That's good.
Blazkowicz, got a heads up for you. Looking at the engineering map, there seems to be a defense system guarding the nuclear warhead stockpile. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hibernation sarcophagi in the vicinity. Be ready for anything. Trace out.
Alright, let's move on. Continuing forward. Got a little bit of steam around us. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Right.
Can't see shit. Need some light in here.
There we go. Alright, let's see if we can collect all that armor. Good. Maxed out. Nope, just regular torpedoes and Nazi shit. Ooh. Which way do we need to go? Is it this way? Yeah, I think so. No. Okay, so I can't jump right through there like I thought I could. The shit. What am I missing?
And if you still caught
Oh, there we go.
this is the conclusion I've reached. Whatever happens, she can't know she'll be rearing our babies alone. It's my burden to bear until it's hers.
Okay, there's gotta be. I heard something break. Knocked me off my damn feet. Now I don't know where my big ass laser gun is. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's open the door.
So here's what I'll do. Keep away from her. Let nothing show, Caroline. This dying is making me a liar.
Alright. That door was opened. It always annoys me how we can't lift that heavy gun, but on one hand, I get it. Getting low on ammo. Okay, at least we got a couple grenades, but not really much use against... Spoke too soon. That drone just got stuck up there? Alright, let's get these little scraps of metal here so I can replenish my armor. And boom bam. Max armor. Alright, let's see. We're on the second floor over here. Push that on the armor. So now... Okay, cool. Here we go. We got our nuclear warhead. I found the nuclear warhead.
Tip top. Bring it to the old man. Said was it? I briefed him on the particulars.
Careful, Chimshin, it's not the Tsatsuki. I mean,
Kind of interesting how we're on a submarine this whole time and those little Nazi machineries are apparently hiding in all the cracks and crevices of the ship.
I'm fine. Never better.
Never better. Well, I need to take care of this. You need to rest.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Well, do me a favor. Before you die, go to Grace. She's at the helm. Caroline's overall.
Before you die, go to Grace. Okay, so we need to go to the helm.
Signore.
Okay. Oh, it's right here. Dee.
William?
What?
I feel like you've been avoiding me. What's wrong? Talk to me.
Look at me, Anya.
Hmm.
I'm the damn Tin Man.
He's falling apart.
How am I gonna get close to you?
I don't care. We'll figure something out. We always do. Huh? Hey, why won't you at least try?
Because I'm fucking dying. The longer we keep pretending it won't happen, the harder it's gonna be. I'll be in the ground a week from now.
You don't know that. What, you can see the future now? Don't act like you know things you can't possibly know.
well, the toilet works.
Slashy, are you still here? You need to haul ass back to mission control and get all your ducks in a row. Now, the Haas 2 helicopter is spinning up in the hangar, and it'll get you as far as Galveston, but from there, baby, you're gonna have to improvise.
Dynamite, boss.
Blazkowicz, head on up to the hangar and make sure that Haas 1 is mission ready, all right?
Not being there for you. Not rearing up our kids. That's too much to bear.
Then don't give up, William. 'Cause
He's
I
gone through so many surgeries, it's amazing he's still freaking alive.
No matter what. Come with me to the showers. Hmm? We'll take this thing off. I'll clean you up. You smell.
I take it off. I'm afraid I'll fall apart. Pieces won't fit back together again. I just gotta keep going. For as long as I can. Well, Caroline, I fucked up and told her. Turns out, the hurt I tried to spare was mine, not hers.
Where we gotta go? I think it's, what, up here? Maybe?
Right. Let's see if this bird is ready to fly like Grace asked me to. Put everything else out of your mind.
Bunch of hippie art on there.
like I need more power.
So I need a few more recharges, I take it.
Chopper's fat and sassy. Should let Grace know.
How's it going, Captain?
Alright, so now... Where's Grace?
Captain.
Return to Grace. That's Set's lab.
What's going on? Hello, Captain.
Let's see. Is it the helm? There we go. You've been touched by a preacher, man.
All set. Helicopter's good to go.
Thanks, man.
How you doing, Dev? Just winding down my stream right now. Trying to finish some stuff.
What have you done? This is no good. What's going on?
Tired, man? Yeah, you and me both.
What are you sure about looking up?
Thank God I took a shower right before I streamed, because then I can just hop right into bed.
Sake. Where wasn't anyone watching it?
Fergus, everyone is busy. No time for babysitting.
Well, lock him up with a pig then. What's the problem? Favorite shirt. Fuck Max.
Fergus, it's only a shirt.
No, it's not just a fucking shirt. I got this shirt at Kinloss. It's the only one I have.
All right, y'all.
Remember brush my teeth for once in so long. Ugh, you nasty.
Hey, Englishman. You got nukes on this ship. Did you know that?
Oh, is that why it only took one of them to level Death's entire fucking compound? You figured that out, oh great genius.
Oh, so you knew. Yet you only used the one. Explain that blip to me, shit for brains, because you are stupid for real.
Fuck's sakes, you can't bloody well just go around dropping bombs on random civilians, you dim-witted bambot.
Oh, eat me, cocksucker. I'm not saying we chunk nukes at a bunch of cities all willy-nilly, pencil dick. Do I look like a fucking Nazi to you?
No. I would say you most resemble a skitter-drukit cunt rag. Anus honking, similar to that of a shite-spewing volcano, affronting the senses at full force.
Well, at least my face isn't a
I'm gonna set an alarm on my phone to tell me to do it each night.
I wanna blow up just
Brush your teeth. Make sure you also see a dentist twice a year for at least cleaning your teeth.
Know what I'm saying?
The reason we haven't used one of the other atom bombs, which would be obvious to anyone who isn't profoundly idiotic, is we need a proper target first.
Well, I'm here to say that I got a proper target.
What's a dentist?
It's a
F
fucking
off.
good one, too. So
You
sit
know
your
damn well
ass
you know
down,
what a
you
dentist
dumb
is.
fuck, Scottish motherfucker.
It's a tooth doctor.
Fair enough.
Check it out. I sent Special ahead to his hometown of Roswell, New Mexico to prep for the mission. Now, there's
We're going to Roswell?
Special's hideout that will take you straight into the Nazis' top secret underground base, where they're experimenting with some sort of wigged out alien technology.
Roswell, New Mexico, you said? This is one of ours.
What do you mean? One of yours?
Yeah.
Getting finger blasted by that cyborg arm.
So you can send coded messages back to your pals in Berlin?
No.
What the fuck is she even doing here?
Grace, why? She's good people.
She's a fucking Nazi. On your boat. What were you saying, Pops?
That secret base you were talking about was constructed by us. Das Yuch, one of our biggest safekeeps. It was located here, underground, near what is now Roswell.
I'm not related to her.
Years, long before America got subjugated by the Europeans. It contained technology related to anti-gravity research.
Anti-gravity research.
Turned the tide of war. We gave the U.S. government access to it.
Just need to put that out there.
America fell. The Nazis took hold of our safekeep.
Shit. That's not gonna sit well with Speshy. He had his bet on space aliens. He wants to ship that crashed back there in 47.
So what do you want with this place?
Know what the Oberkommando is?
Hey. That's where the top brass clad tails of the Nazi war machine reside.
Yeah, well, the Nazis moved it into your safekeep set. So whatever it is so important that the whole upper echelon of the Nazi leadership left Berlin and set up shop in New Mexico.
This is why you need this for.
What on earth is that? This is a portable nuclear bomb. We're gonna take out the Oberkommando, cripple the Nazi leadership, and destabilize the fucking country and let the people
I'm gonna
know
lurk and get myself ready to bed and end up
Blazkowicz.
doing grocery shopping and
Load
think
up.
we'll get some fruits instead of a bag of
I'm
chips.
sending you
Yep.
to Roswell.
Fruits are good. Fruits and veggies. Yeah. I'm waiting until the
So
level drops in and then it saves my point and then I'll probably call it a night myself for the stream.
rendezvous with Super Spesh at Papa Joe's All-American Diner and plant the nuke inside the very heart of the Oberkommando. Then, you blow that shit the fuck up.
I miss blueberries. Blueberries are awesome.
Okay, Blazkowicz, look for Papa Joe's All-American Diner. Meet Super Spesh inside the restaurant. Do not break cover.
All right. Little stream. Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining me this evening. And I will be back Tuesday for my stream. And I'll be back on Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure, if you haven't already, to follow me on all of my socials. I am on TikTok, I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Blue Sky, and I'm on Mastodon. I'm pretty much everywhere. You can check the links in bio and everything there. And, of course, join the Discord and the Matrix server, too, if you haven't already. I love y'all. Happy hacking. Stay safe out there. And I'll see y'all Tuesday if you're not hanging out in the Discord and such.